Sun-Times says the police officer will announce he's stepping down at a morning press conference. Johnson will work through the end of the year. Mayor Lori Lightfoot will not speculate on who his replacement may be.
I've seen a lot of speculation about different names, some of which are wildly off base. But as I said, we have a superintendent who is in place, and when the time comes to make an announcement, we'll make that announcement.
Former Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck is the leading candidate to be the interim superintendent. Hundreds of teachers in the northern suburbs going on strike today. Classes canceled at Grays Lake Elementary School District 46 as educators and support staff hit the picket lines. Pay is the only issue dividing the two sides. A longtime senior pastor of a church in Chicago admitting he sexually abused an underage female relative when he was a teen. Charles Lyons resigned from his role at Armitage Baptist Church on July 31st after making that confession. No criminal charges have been filed. Lyons had been pastor for over 4 decades. A man convicted of killing a police officer in Chicago is resentenced from life in prison to 40 years, sparking backlash this morning among officers and family members of the late officer Brian Strauss. President of the FOP, Kevin Graham, blasted the new sentence.
They only gave 40 years to a person that murdered a police officer in uniform, performing his duties, trying to make the city safer. There was an injustice happened again here.
Brian Strauss was killed in 2001 by then 16-year-old Hector Delgado, sentenced to life in prison. But the U.S. Supreme Court recently banned life sentences for juveniles. An investigation is underway after students at 2 Chicago high schools were hospitalized after eating brownies and candy infused with an unknown substance. The first happened yesterday at Epic Academy College Prep. Later, 5 students at Fenger Academy High School fell ill after eating what appeared to be gummies. Longtime Democrat Representative Pete Visclosky of Indiana will not run for re-election. Will be retiring after 36 years in Congress. The 7-year-old represents a district that is heavily Democrat, where it borders on Chicago and Lake Michigan, but increasingly more conservative in other major portions of that district. Visclosky has not faced serious re-election challenges for many years, and his decision will likely set off a scramble among Republicans who want to flip that district. 5:05 on AM 560. In health news this morning, neurology researchers at Northwestern Medicine here in Chicago say they've made an important discovery related to ALS. It's that self-cannibalizing mitochondria in the brain may play a critical role in the development of that disease.
We actually found that mitochondria eats itself up in the upper motor neurons that become diseased in ALS.
Dr. Hande Odinsler found that with her team, mitochondria eat themselves up in the motor neurons that become diseased. The unexpected find could lead to new ways to fight ALS and other neurodegenerative diseases, with research centered here in Chicago. Family and friends are mourning after a beloved vendor in Chicago passed away. Fidencio Sanchez died yesterday morning at the age of 92 after a battle with an infection. A picture of the Little Village vendor went viral in 2016 after a stranger took a photo of him pushing a cart of Mexican ice pops. That image led to a record-breaking GoFundMe page that raised over $380,000 for Sanchez and his family. College hoops last night. Notre Dame fell to number 11 UNC, 76-65. Tomas Satoransky scored a game-high 27 as the Bulls beat the Hawks in Atlanta 113-93. Blackhawks welcome the Canucks to the United Center tonight. The news, a service of Grapes from Chicago. Whatever the score, Grapes at the game makes everybody a winner. For a game-time snack that's delicious and healthy, go with Grapes from California. Get some at Mariano's today. 5:07. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees the cheapening of words.
This impeachment stuff is beyond belief. Remember, the left cheapens everything. Impeachment means nothing now. Impeachment means we don't like the last election results. That's what it means. It used to mean you actually committed serious crimes.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. And right now, get your first online visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. Sure beats paying for an in-office doctor's appointment, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need to deal with awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe the medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting TOP to 350-350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds. The LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes, and most patients can get back to work the following day. The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. Dr. Greenberg has performed 75,000 LASIK surgeries and is one of the most experienced LASIK surgeons in Chicago. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text TOP to 350-350. That's TOP to 350-350 to schedule your free consultation today.
Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
5:09 AM 560 traffic center time, and here is Jim Telemonte.
In Kenosha County, northbound or westbound 94 is closed from Highway 142 to KR. The roadway should reopen soon, but the off-ramp to 142 is scheduled to remain blocked until 5:30 this morning. Kennedy inbound, the exit to southbound Cumberland is closed. That too is about to reopen. Kennedy looks good at this hour. Reversibles already open inbound. At Eisenhower, the exit to Austin is closed. That should reopen shortly. We're not seeing delays on the Ike. Stevenson looks good. The Ryan as well. I-57 has some road work in both directions between Tri-State and Sibley. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A lakeshore flood advisory in effect today. Partly sunny, the high 33. It'll be clear and very cold tonight, low 17. Partly sunny tomorrow, the high again 33. And then partly sunny for Saturday, the high up to 44. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
27 at O'Hare, 31 Lakefront, 33 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, listen up. How would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? Would that qualify as a Christmas miracle? Well, that could happen if you enter and win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest that runs now through December 20th, presented by AM Woodland Outdoor Design. But you can only win if you enter. And to do that, you need to go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle, to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2020. We are not making this up. Go to 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help! Seriously, I am too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I got this bald spot.
It's thinning everywhere.
I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude,
put down the razor, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs, and a free gift card to anyone who texts SECRET to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text SECRET to 85850. That's SECRET to 85850.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So
how was Prager yesterday? You filled in?
I did fill in for Prager. It was fun. Okay. Always fun to fill in for His Eminence. It was a good time. Thank you for asking.
Is that why you were all dolled up yesterday, too?
No, I had to go to Jeannie Ives fundraiser in the evening.
Oh, how was that?
It was good. Yeah. Out in Naperville Way. Good turnout. A lot of energy.
I like her new hairdo.
That was at
more congressional. I mean, it looks good. It looks good on her.
I'm sort of the campaign stylist at
That's
large.
what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
So we find out yesterday, Adam Schiff pronounces that there shall be public hearings starting next week Wednesday, as Bill Taylor's transcript of his behind closed door testimony was also released yesterday. Taylor, one of the three that will testify, along with Yovanovitch, the former ambassador to Ukraine, U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, and George Kent, a deputy undersecretary of state. So you can look forward to public hearings on Wednesday, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be any more fair than the Star Chamber proceedings behind closed doors that Adam Schiff was presiding over. The big discussion yesterday and into today, on Prager's show, Selena Zito joined us from Washington Examiner, and she's like, it's Groundhog Day every day. Yeah. Every day, whatever was released is a bombshell. Whatever is released is the dispositive. It's the dispositive evidence that the president did something impeachable. And so over the last 24 hours, it was the revision to Gordon Sondland's testimony that suggested that he conceded there was a quid pro quo.
Well, he changed his testimony.
He amended it.
Well, to me, that's change, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
How can you change that? I don't understand how you could come back the next day and say, oh, wait, this is what I forgot to add, and what you forgot to add is epic in some people's minds.
He had the amendment. I said the resumption of U.S. aid would likely not occur until Ukraine provided the public anti-corruption statement that we had been discussing for many weeks. That's a quid pro quo for aid? That's how it's being reported. It's not. It's not. Everybody just reports the headline, their version of what they want it to be. Here's the actual amended testimony. I said the resumption of the U.S. aid would likely not occur until Ukraine provided the public anti-corruption statement, not investigating the Bidens, public anti-corruption statement that we had been discussing for many weeks. And this is the end of the Trump administration, that sentence, according to the blaring chyrons on CNN and MSNBC. Bill Taylor's testimony, he's a star witness.
Right. He'll be speaking, or he'll be going before the public too, right?
He's on deck.
One?
He's on
Who's
deck next week.
Yeah.
Taylor, Yovanovitch, and Kent.
Okay.
In testimony from the Taylor transcript that was released yesterday, this exchange with Congressman Lee Zeldin, a Republican from New York. Mm-hmm. Zeldin, would you like to tell us what your position is on it? What was the goal of requesting investigations into 2016 election in Burisma? Taylor, as I understand it from one of the Maybe the article in the New York Times about Mr. Giuliani's interest in Burisma, in that article he describes, and I think quotes Giuliani at some length, that article indicates that Giuliani was interested in getting some information on Vice President Biden that would be useful to Mr. Giuliani's client. I think that's what he says. He says he's got one client and he's useful to the client. And then it's your inference, Zeldin asks, that Mr. Giuliani's goal would be the president's goal. Yes, says Taylor. Zeldin. And your source is the New York Times. Yes. So do you have any other source that the president's goal in making this request was anything other than the New York Times? I have not talked to the president. I have no information from what the president was thinking. So Bill Taylor's assertion that there was something hanky going on, and then he texts Gordon Sondland. I know this is a lot to keep track of.
Right,
Then he texts Gordon Sondland, the ambassador to the EU, about it, is all based on his inference from the New York Times reporting on Giuliani. And that's the basis the president should be removed? I've said from the beginning that the quid pro quo, no quid pro quo, call what you want. None of this is anywhere near a high crime or misdemeanor.
No.
But if you're going to argue quid pro quo, that's your evidence for it? Taylor said...
I'm going to need more.
Zeldin tweets this out. Taylor said in a depo he believed POTUS wanted Ukraine to investigate Ukrainians' interference with the 2016 election in Burisma was just to get dirt on Biden. That's what Taylor said. He later admitted to me his sole source for that info was the New York Times.
Oh, my gosh.
He never talked to the president. He says it right there in the deposition. So he divines what the president's agenda is and thinking behind said agenda from a New York Times article?
Sounds like the Russian dossier.
Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, listening to what you just said, what this ambassador said, just handing out money, it's because it's not their money. They just don't care. They don't think that it's appropriate to put any strings on any of the money that's handed out. I mean, look what Obama did with that group in Palestine. They just gave out $400-something million for what? And another thing, this whole thing is not a joke, and it's because a lot of humanoids out there are actually believing that this is a high crime. And this is going to hurt this country for a very long time. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the call.
And then the whistleblower's lawyer, what he tweeted back in the day, he said a coup has started. Impeachment will follow ultimately. That was January 2017. July 2017, he tweeted, I predict at CNN will play a key role in the real Donald Trump not finishing his full term as president. Also tweeted, we will get rid of him, and this country is strong enough to survive even him and his supporters. So you think there wasn't any type of political motivation here?
Yeah,
to
and
get rid of him? The Democrats have been planning a coup on impeachment since 10 minutes after he was inaugurated.
A remarkable tweets from Mark Zaid, one of the attorneys for the whistleblower, and not just political motivation, but as was suggested by Devin Nunes, the first witness that Republicans are going to call next week, Adam Schiff. Motivations are obvious. How about coordination? How we know about Adam Schiff's ex parte and his staff's ex parte conversations with a whistleblower. What if, Vindman, as Sean Davis suggests in The Federalist, what if this was all cooked up by some of the star witnesses, quote unquote, for House Democrats as they pursue their latest attempt at a coup?
Because they know they're not going to beat him at the ballot box in 2020. And Adam Schiff, he could have written that statement that the whistleblower handed out. He could have. He could have coached him along. He could have done all that. And those are questions I hope they ask him.
Yeah, again, going back to Taylor, since he's been profiled as this man of impeccable integrity and credentials, and he may well be. I mean, he's obviously being honest because the testimony, his exchange with Lee Zeldin, doesn't help the case, doesn't help Democrats' case. So I start by taking Bill Taylor at his word, but what he says is important. I'm taking it at his word, and I'm pointing out that taking him at his word presents all kinds of problems. When asked who he spoke to about this matter, he also said he never spoke to Mick Mulvaney, the president's chief of staff. His only contacts about the matter were John Bolton, Fiona Hill, Alexander Vindman, and Tim Morrison. Both Hill and Vindman are rumored to have been sources for the so-called whistleblower who filed the complaint against Trump in August. Vindman, by the way, one of his superiors, a military officer named Hickman, has tweeted out about Vindman that, hey, let me tell you something about Vindman. He's a political operative in a uniform. So this is why public hearings, I'm so looking forward to Act 2 of this impeachment play. Let's get back from the intermission and let's get right to it. And let's put these individuals under cross and let's see who holds up. Now that in a context where you can't just cherry pick the testimony and leak it out without the ability for the other side to respond, which has been the shift protocol to date.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Dr. David Kolbaba. I know, the holiday season is coming right for us. It's coming right for us! Yep, but I got to tell you about our special holiday survival event. So you want to make this year better and lower the stress and strain of it all? Well, it just might be what the doctor ordered at our holiday survival event, where we're going to share some practical common sense strategies to make it all happen. We're going to cover it all, and of course, have some fun. And you'll leave this event with awesome alternatives, making for less stress and more fun this holiday season. So are you up for something special? It's our holiday survival event, Saturday afternoon, November the 9th. Call our Health Quest radio hotline to make your reservation. Call 800-794-1855. Make this holiday season something to remember on the positive side of things.
So live a life you will remember.
That's 800-794-1855. And remember to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, heard every Saturday morning at 11 right here on AM 560, The Answer. That's 800-794-1855.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and let's be honest, most people were not taught how to invest in school. No one will ever care about your financial future as much as you do. So now's the time to start learning how education could help you take better control of your financial future from now on. A strong economy is the best time to prepare for a bad one. So I signed up and attended my own free class at the Lombard campus, and you should too. You'll be introduced to skills to take control of your financial future. And if you're like me, you've probably wondered, why does Wall Street seem to win so consistently? How can I do more than just buy and hold? And is there a path to help me take better control of my financial future? Most importantly, learn how to spend less time worrying about life and more time living it. As a lender in investing and trading education, Online Trading Academy teaches people just like you a step-by-step process designed to help you make the right moves in the financial markets. You'll discover common investor mistakes, learn about risk management skills, and how to develop a personal income and wealth education plan. And you can take classes right here in the Chicago area or in an online classroom from the comfort and convenience of your own home. That sounds nice. Students have given Online Trading Academy a 94% satisfaction rating based on more than 190,000 reviews. Seats are limited, my friends, so sign up for a free introductory trading and investing class by calling this number, 844-778-7132, or online at otaclass.com. That's a free class right here in Chicago, 844-778-7132, 844-778-7132, or otaclass.com. You'll receive their professional insiders kit just for attending. 844-778-7132 or otaclass.com.
Napa know-how.
Now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers, buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Because when you put safety first, your equipment shouldn't be second rate. So upgrade to Napa Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
Hi there, Saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
I got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to my pillow. It conforms to my neck and back. I really cannot sleep without it. And right now, if you go to mypillow.com, type Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code, you'll get 30% off everything. And I mean everything. The pillows, the MyPillow, which right now goes for $29.99. You'll also get 30% off mattress toppers, the pet beds, and the Giza cotton sheets. And now, my new favorite, the MyPillow towels, which come in all colors. So go to MyPillow.com, check it all out for yourself. And remember that there's a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty on all of the products, which are made in America. Mike Lindell, the CEO and founder of MyPillow, wants to pay it forward because we help make his company the amazing company that it is. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, one other note on the whistleblower. We didn't get to it yesterday. But that term, Matt Taibbi over at Rolling Stone, again, a man of the left, but boy, he seems frustrated with his fellow travelers these days. The whistleblower probably isn't. Americans who've blown the whistle over serious offenses by the federal government either spend the rest of their lives overseas, like Edward Snowden, end up in jail like Chelsea Manning, get arrested and ruined financially like former NSA official Thomas Drake, have their homes raided by the FBI like disabled NSA vet William Binney, or get charged with espionage like ex-CIA exposer of torture John Kirikou. It's an insult to all of these people and the suffering they've weathered to frame the ball carrier in the Beltway's latest partisan power contest as a whistleblower. Ooh. Yow. Not untrue. He talked to Kirikou. Again, he was a whistleblower in CIA torture. It took me and my lawyers a full year to get the media to stop calling me a CIA leaker. That's how long it took for me to be called a whistleblower, John Kirikou told Taibbi. What we know about the whistleblower, writes Taibbi. CIA officer detailed the White House. The account is at best partially based on the CIA officer's own experience, made up substantially by information from more than a half dozen U.S. officials and the private accounts of my colleagues, as he so detailed in his complaint. He or she instantly celebrated as a whistleblower by news networks and major newspapers. Instantly celebrated. Indeed. But Kirikou is a CIA leaker. But this complaint, because it targets the president, he's a whistleblower who deserves protection. And Donald Trump Jr. better not name the name that Paul Sperry named last week in his Real Clear Investigations piece. The name that shall not be spoken.
I mean, even Rand Paul's taking heat for saying at the rally the other day that we should know his name. I only want to know his name, which we already know, but I want to see him testify before Congress.
Absolutely.
We demand to. We have to. There's no other way to do it.
And Rand Paul yesterday, by the way, had to correct the record. If you haven't heard it, share it with your friends, because I'm sure you have leftist friends running around, or never Trump friends. Oh, my gosh, you have to protect the whistleblower. It's a violation of the law to reveal the whistleblower's identity. Not exactly.
The whistleblower laws, though, they protect the whistleblower. You know it's illegal to out a whistleblower.
Actually, you see, you got that wrong, too. I mean, we should work on the facts. Here's the thing. It's the whistleblower statute protects the whistleblower from having his name revealed by the Inspector General. Even the New York Times admits that no one else is under any legal obligation. The other point, and you need to be very careful if you really are interested in the news, is that the whistleblower actually is a material witness completely separate from being a whistleblower, because he worked for Joe Biden. He worked for Joe Biden at the same time Hunter Biden was receiving $50,000 a month. So the investigation into the corruption of Hunter Biden involves this whistleblower because he was there at the time. Did he bring up the conflict of interest? Was there discussion of this? What was his involvement with the relationship between Joe Biden and the prosecutor? There's a lot of questions that the whistleblower needs to answer.
Yes, indeed. And you know what? These are all American heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring them forward. I want to hear from our heroes.
Gross. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, dust off your dance shoes.
Yeah, he left the White House to focus on his dancing career, and it's going very well. The Fred Astaire of White House spokesman Sean Spicer at 5:38.
Can't wait. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Still waiting for Dana Perino to dance. That might be fun. Outside, 24 degrees, very chilly at 5:32. Some Top stories we're following this morning. Federal government expected to ban flavored vape products as soon as today. A Chinese court sentenced 9 fentanyl traffickers this morning in a case that is a culmination of a rare collaboration between Chinese and U.S. law enforcement. In fact, Chinese officials say they're tracking 3 networks based on U.S. intelligence. President Trump says the best is yet to come.
Together, we will elect a Republican Congress. We're going to be able to do that. We have to be able to do that. To create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration and many other things.
The president in Louisiana Wednesday night. Iran reportedly canceled its accreditation of a UN nuclear inspector. Federal prosecutors are charging 2 former Twitter employees and another man from Saudi Arabia with espionage. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions reportedly going to run for his former Alabama U.S. Senate seat. Here in Chicago, 7 are without a home following a fire on the northwest side in the 1600 block of North Spalding Avenue. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expected to officially announce his retirement today. Mayor Lightfoot will not speculate on a replacement. College basketball last night, Notre Dame fell to North Carolina. Bulls winners over the Hawks in Atlanta, 113-93. Blackhawks welcome the Canucks later on tonight to the UC. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity is beginning to get angry.
It is getting really, really, really difficult to hold back what is just an anger that I have at what the mob and the media and the Democrats, they are so detached from any objective truth, honesty, and common sense reason. They're void of all of it.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-600-5451. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-600-5451. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-600-5451. 1-800-600-5451.
Studies show that a divorce can be the most stressful event in a person's life. However, you have the option to choose a method of ending your marriage in a way that minimizes that stress for you and your children. Mediation is a confidential process with a neutral and trained mediator. The confidentiality of mediation protects your children, your circumstances, and financial information from public scrutiny. Mediation also lets you control the divorce process instead of the process controlling you. You can choose to have your attorney attend a mediation session. You can choose to involve mental health professionals or financial professionals. You can choose the issues to be mediated, and you can choose from a multitude of options to settle those issues instead of a stranger choosing for you. Divorce does not have to be destructive. There is a way to minimize the impact on your family. There is a better way. Find out more at levinbrand.com. That's LEVINBREND.com or 312-726-4440. 312-726-4440.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
5:36 AM 560 Traffic Center time. And here is Jim Telemonte.
On Chicago's west side, there's a fire in the 3700 block of North Costner. Crews are staging nearby along Milwaukee Avenue at Addison Street. South Elgin crashed this morning, 25 near Dunham Road. The Eden and Kennedy look good at this hour. No significant delays to report yet on the Eisenhower. Inbound Stevenson traffic is getting a little bit congested around Pulaski. Inbound Ryan just a bit heavy approaching downtown Chicago. I-57 looks good. Inbound Bishop Ford Freeway. Traffic is slow from 115th to Merge. It's 19 minutes from 8094 to Ryan. Tollways look okay, though there's still some road construction in place this morning along stretches Tri-State and the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. In our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny today, very chilly, with a high of 33. Clear and very cold. We even have a hypothermia warning out from the National Weather Service with a low of 17 or below. Currently 25 at O'Hare. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. The best value for your company's holiday party is at tastycatering.com.
Dancing Jazz with Jenna, it's Sean Spicer.
Yeah. This is a remarkable story. I can't believe that the press corps is taking the same attitude towards Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars that they did to the 2016 election. They just won't accept the results.
No. Hey-oh.
I mean, it really is. They're so upset that, Sean Spicer is the Fred Astaire of White House spokesman. I mean, I don't know. There's not another way to put it.
Well, on Monday, he did receive one of the lowest scores of 20 points out of 30. And Len Goodman said, "We keep trying to throw you out of the boat, and viewers keep throwing you a lifeline."
It's,
because part of it's audience participation, how many votes you get.
The public wants what it wants. It's an eye of the beholder thing, dances. This is the extent that they're doing, the extent to which they're going. James Corden, this is a guy, he's got a show on CBS. I know you don't know that. Why would you? Nobody watches. James Corden, he set up a special guest during his monologue. A special guest, plural.
Why is Sean Spicer even on Dancing with the Stars? Politicians don't belong on entertainment shows. These shows are for celebrities, not political figures.
And the screaming was, it's a CBS, little known fact. It's the CBS News Department. That's his studio audience. The screaming was him ushering Hillary and Chelsea onto the stage.
You got something to say about Donald Trump trying to get votes for Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars? The stage is yours. Go for it. Go and get in it. Sure.
I do, because, I can't blame Trump for trying to help Sean Spicer. But if there's one thing we've learned, is that these guys really can't win the popular vote.
Oh.
So lame. And you thought that was lame?
Yeah, I did.
It's Hereditary. Chelsea.
Oh, no.
Former White House spokesman Sean Spicer is now on Dancing with the Stars. It is an improvement on his old job, dancing around the issues.
This is
devastating. For more on modern dance theory and maybe a little bit of politics, too, we're pleased to be joined by former White House press secretary, author of The Briefing, Politics, the Press, and the President, currently in the final 6 on season 28 of Dancing with the Stars, Sean Spicer. Sean, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet. Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you're withering under those rejoinders from Hillary and Chelsea, but it looks like you're having fun with the show, even though you're the subject of probably expected criticism.
Yeah, I mean, I think the irony, of course, is the system and the show is set up the way it is, and it's been that way for 28 seasons, and suddenly, people are having all of this outrage because people are voting. And it's an affirmative vote, right? I mean, the judges, as you point out in your piece, have been very clear about what they think, and their scores reflect that. But half of the score comes from people out in America voting, and for whatever reason, and I think there's a multitude of them, have decided to keep me going in this.
Wow. I mean, how much time do you put in for just one dance? Is it all week long, or just tell us about your day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and obviously this is a lot further along than I ever anticipated myself. I'm sure most people would agree with that. But on a daily basis, usually close to 5 hours.
Wow,
When you were your I think it was your most recent routine. I don't really watch Dancing with the Stars.
I
but-
watched this year because of you, Sean Spicer. I'm not kidding you.
Oh,
you and
thank you.
I love it. You and Hannah Brown. I love Hannah.
All right. The latest routine was Styx's "Come Sail Away." Was that that the latest one?
And he danced with Jenna Johnson because his partner's mother-in-law passed away unexpectedly.
Thank you for that color
I'm
commentary.
just letting you know what happened.
And so, did you envision when you were named White House spokesman that someday you'd be on national TV in a Popeye sailor suit?
Absolutely. 100%.
It's a straight line, isn't it?
yeah, that's generally how it goes. No, absolutely not. And for what it's worth, we met up last year when I was talking about the book, and that was generally what I thought. And I'd not really given a ton of thought to doing the show. I turned it down before for a variety of reasons, but I finally came to the decision that you live once. You should have some fun. It's something that clearly this is not in my wheelhouse, not naturally gifted at it. But I thought, why not do something completely different, learn something, enjoy yourself. And I actually think that, not to get too much into what the whole goal of the show is, but part of it, I know that there's a bunch of purists out there that are like all about, who's the best. And I think that that's everyone's right to do that. But I think that there's also a piece of the show going back several seasons about people coming from no experience and their journey and whether or not they get better and how much improvement they make, et cetera. And that's definitely the category I see myself in.
Totally. I mean, I've done this locally.
I did it too. Locally.
And so did Amy.
Yeah.
The Chicago Dancing with the Stars raised money for breast cancer, and I had the same trepidations you did. Not naturally gifted, not something I ever wanted to do. But it was
gifted, but okay.
Amy's gifted. That's the difference between us. But it was so much fun, and it was outside of your comfort zone. And I'll tell you what, the other thing about this, and I think it comes through, and I think this is what really upsets people. It's not that you're moving on. You know what it is? What upsets them is it humanizes you. You're not the caricature of a human being that the press tried to portray you as. And so you come across as likable, and that really angers people that are sort of rabidly left. And they just use the, Bob Fosse purist criticisms as a cover.
Yeah, and I think that's partially true. I agree with you that, although I do take issue with the first part where the press tries to use this word humanize as if you weren't to begin with.
Right.
And part of the thing is, I say, I am who I am. I think if you talk to people who've known me a while, I'm the same person for a while. That job in particular was very one-dimensional. You get up there, you're at a podium, you're going at it every day with the press corps, and people, if that's the only thing they say of you, they don't know the rest about you. And not that I've been very clear, between the book and the show. I am who I am. I'm comfortable with that. If someone wants to get to know further, then there's plenty of opportunities either to tune into the show, to read the book, whatever. But I'm not looking to sort of say, well, I'm going through some transformation. And I was this person, and now I'm somebody else, or I've changed my beliefs. I'm very comfortable with who I am, what I believe, and that's a different thing, because I think the way that you're saying that a lot of these folks in the media are portraying it, which I think is right, is that we don't want you to know anymore because, gosh darn, you might actually like this.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? And it seems that your cast members genuinely like you. I mean, there seems to be a camaraderie there on set, and is that what's really going on?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, but we all, the thing that I've told people that I really enjoy about the show is that we were 12 people. We got thrown together. You work together really hard every day. You're practicing together. You get to know each other. And you generally come to want to support each other and care about each other, how they do and how each other does. And it's a side of everything else that's going on in the world right now. Like, there's no discussion of politics or policies. How are you doing? Are you doing better than last week? What are you working on? How's your family, kind of thing? And I think, that's when you're in that kind of environment, day in and day out, you do come to care about each other a little.
Yeah, and I think it's again a sad commentary on the times that you have people have to say, "Oh, I got along with Sean Spicer on the stage," then they have to apologize for it, explain it, rationalize it, make excuses for it. Just a guy I met, he seemed like a nice guy.
It's actually, Dan, the thing that I find funny about that is, if you think about the direction that it's going in, and I've seen exactly what you're talking about when some of the other members have been asked that, is that it's ironically, it goes in one direction, right? So I never get asked that question by you or anyone else about, quote, what do I think of the other cast members in terms of their beliefs? And some of them are more known than others in terms of who they supported and what their beliefs are. But it's ironic that it's only a one-way conversation, right? So they have to, the questions from are is it okay to tolerate Sean versus no one ever asked the other question. And that is sort of an interesting dynamic that's going on in the world right now.
Do you have any say in what dances you do or what outfits you wear? Because remember you came out in that neon, like a charo top.
Oh, yeah.
Which was very dashing, by the way.
Very.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, very fetching.
Yes.
We actually auctioned that shirt off for 2 veterans charities that I'm involved in, and we got $4,000 for it. And the thing that's really cool is, we set up this website a while ago. It was kind of tongue in cheek, but SpicerArnold.com, which is Lindsay Arnold, my partner, and I joked when I joined the show that everyone else has this fan base, the music stars or on TV or whatever, and I said well, I'm gonna have to run it like a campaign kind of and try to go out there and because of my background. And we set up this website, and we actually sell campaign merchandise, like yard signs and T-shirts, and all that equally, all the proceeds from that go to both the Yellow Ribbon Fund and the Independence Fund, 2 organizations that support our wounded warriors and their caregivers. And that's what's been fun about the experience too, is we bring wounded warriors and the caregivers to the show, trying to have a date night for them. And it's kind of cool to make the experience more than just about myself. But to your other question, no. I mean, yes and no. I can't. They'll send me. We'll go in for fittings towards the show, and they'll say, okay, this is what we want you to wear. There's a little bit of pushback here and there if I really find something outrageous. But that shirt in particular was the first week, and I just didn't know better. So I was like, oh, okay.
That was great. Well,
everybody saw it, even from Mars. Yes.
It's very radiant.
So the website is spicyarnold.com.
Spicer Arnold.
Spicer Arnold. Yeah, his last name's Spicer.
Well,
SpicerArnold.com.
Blonde moment. I'm sorry.
So let me just put a suggestion in, because I think I see hints of Gene Kelly in you. Singing in the Rain. And maybe try that.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a little bit more
I
dashing.
don't think you want to see. Look, it's one thing to tolerate the dancing. You don't want to hear my singing.
Yeah, okay. I know your passion is dance, but if I could ask you a political question as well. When you were White House spokesman and going through the Mueller investigation saga, did you anticipate that when that was dispensed with, we'd be, maybe not with respect to a call with Ukrainian president, but there would be a chapter 2 from the Democrats? There'd be another gambit to try to remove Trump from office.
That's a really good question, because I don't think that I fully anticipated it. No. I thought that because of who Mueller was, meaning that they'd put a lot of stock into this guy and, his integrity, et cetera, that, okay, once he kind of delivered his final report, that would settle everything. And so I didn't anticipate it going to this length by any means, because I didn't think anyone would kind of try for another bite at the apple.
He is Sean Spicer. He has displaced Marlon Fitzwater as the most successful dancing White House spokesman in American history. Former White House press secretary, the book, The Briefing, Politics, the Press, and the President. And currently in the final 6 on season 28 of Dancing with the Stars.
Yay.
Keep annoying the left. Keep voting for Sean Spicer. Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan and Amy. Appreciate it.
You're the best. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Larry Nora, founder and CEO of You Store It, a network of award-winning self-storage facilities in the Chicago area, and a customer of Signature Bank. We've developed over 70 storage centers throughout the city and suburbs, and our business continues to grow. We need a bank who understands the neighborhoods and communities where we are making investments. We found that in Signature Bank. They know this city and its neighborhoods because they are based right here in Chicago. Finding a local banking institution like Signature Bank has been critical to the success of You Store It, and we look forward to a long-term relationship.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're self-employed and purchase your own health insurance, I have some good news. From now until December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition, and depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. And this year, thanks to President Trump, if you're healthy and your income is too high to qualify for a subsidy, there is a new and competitive non-Obamacare marketplace where premiums are much lower and the PPO networks include access to our teaching hospitals in Chicago. Employers who provide small group coverage also have new options, and so do seniors looking for Medicare supplement coverage. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
Have you been thinking about your personal estate plan or company entity plan? It's extremely important that families and business owners strongly consider whether your personal estate plan or business entity plan is optimized for your individual needs. There are many elements, including proper wills and trusts, asset protection, taxes, probate, and more that require professional expertise. With over 4 decades of experience, the professionals at Dank, Walter & Angelo have provided exemplary legal services to thousands of individuals, families, and hundreds of businesses. Dank, Walter & Angelo, attorneys at law, are offering qualified AM 560 listeners a free, no-obligation estate planning consultation. They will review your existing documents and make recommendations regarding these important documents, including wills, living wills, trusts, financial power of attorney, and healthcare power of attorney, plus HIPAA, real estate business owners, LLCs, and more. To schedule your free estate planning consultation, visit reviewmyestate.planfree.com. That's reviewmyestate.planfree.com. Don't delay. Peace of mind is a click away. That's reviewmyestate.planfree.com.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. Abraham Lincoln remains our most revered political leader, but even some of his admirers misunderstand his rise to power. They believe Lincoln only became president in 1860 because Democrats divided, and 3 major candidates split the votes against him. In fact, those 3 opponents drew a combined total far less than Lincoln's hefty majorities in 15 of the 18 free states of the Union, providing more than enough electoral votes for decisive victory. In Lincoln's re-election run in 1864, he won an even greater landslide, winning the popular vote by 10% and carrying 22 of 25 states. His example reminds us that great presidential leadership relies on clear-cut majority support, not the cobbled-together squeaker victories that seem to obsess too many strategists and commentators as they look toward 2020. I'm Michael Medved.
Sponsored by ADF, Alliance Defending Freedom. AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, a couple more notes from Tuesday's elections around the country.
Yeah.
Tucson, Arizona, which is, as most mid to big-sized cities are, left.
We have our first Latino mayor.
70 miles north of the Mexican border. Rejected Proposition 205, which would have made Tucson the state's first sanctuary city.
Yeah, my mom and all her friends voted against that.
I bet they did. They were
their coffee club. They all went out.
They had good company because
71% of those who voted against it.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of Hispanics that voted against it. People who came to this country legally who don't take well to people that are here illegally in Tucson.
And it also, it's just a pro-public safety vote, really. And it also speaks to 2020, Tucson, big city in what is increasingly a swing state, not just for the presidency, but also Martha McSally in the Senate race. Boy, oh boy, that could be one of those defining issues in that race, in those races in 2020. Just sort of that. I'm going to talk about canary in the coal mines, right there. Also, Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Democrats. I mean, it's not great enough that you've got those black faces at the top of your government. Former Virginia lawmaker who made headlines after being accused of having sex with his teenage secretary has won a state Senate seat.
Gross.
Joe Morrissey was jailed 4 years ago after the sex scandal involving his secretary, who he later married. The couple now has 3 children. Real happy ending. He denied wrongdoing, but entered an Alford plea to a misdemeanor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which acknowledges prosecutors had enough evidence to convict him. He ran for mayor of Richmond, had his law license revoked, but he stuck with it, and now he's a state senator in Virginia, part of that governing majority of leftists in Virginia in their House of their state legislature. This guy, I looked up a little bit more on him. It's incredible that the blind rage makes you do dumb things, like elect Joe Morrissey. I'm so angry at Trump. All that, I have blinders on. Really? As an attorney, Morrissey was cited for contempt of court 10 times, was jailed or arrested 5 times. Records from the Virginia State Bar indicate Morrissey received a public reprimand in 92, had his law license suspended twice, once in 93 and again in 99, revoked in 2003, and that was before the sex scandal with his underage secretary.
Gross. And then remember that cyclist who flipped off Trump's motorcade? She was elected as supervisor in some small county in Virginia.
To the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, right. Again, blind rage. Congratulations. Let's see how it works out for you.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we will discuss. What are we discussing?
We'll discuss the latest in the Epstein matter as reactions to Amy Robach's disclosed comments at 6:06.
But first, here's Mike Scott.
WIND News Time. It is 6 o'clock.
Going after the whistleblower's lawyer for going after him. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump calling Mark Zaid a sleazeball at a rally last night in Louisiana, reading an old tweet from the lawyer right before when he took office in 2017.
A coup has started, and the impeachment will follow. Ultimately, it's all a hoax. It's a scam.
Again, the president calling it a scam. The investigation that does continue today. House Democrats who insist the president violated his oath of office, asking Ukraine to investigate the Bidens in the 2016 election, will ask more questions at the Capitol. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, a top aide to Vice President Mike Pence, Jennifer Williams, is expected to go before committees conducting the impeachment inquiry, but it's unlikely former National Security Advisor John Bolton will appear. Williams was reportedly on the July 25th phone call that kicked off the Ukraine investigation. The interviews come as a Democratic-led House Intelligence Committee prepares the first public impeachment hearings next week. On Wednesday, Bill Taylor, senior diplomat in Ukraine, and Deputy Assistant Secretary George Kent will testify. On Friday, former Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, will appear. Dave?
Rachel, there will be funerals in Mexico 3 days after 9 Americans were massacred by a drug cartel.
All we know is that it was on purpose. It wasn't an accident.
Leah Stadden is a relative of the 3 women and 6 kids killed, but Mexican authorities dispute what the family is saying.
Mexican President López Obrador suggested the victims were caught in a fight between warring factions of the Sinaloa cartel in Sonora and the Juarez cartel from neighboring Chihuahua. But family members say it was deliberate.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. I'm ready. Those were convicted killer's last words last night in Texas before he was lethally injected. Justin Hall also told relatives of the woman he murdered in 2002 he was sorry from the bottom of his heart. America's listening to Fox News.
25 degrees. Skies are cloudy. We've seen some snow showers throughout the morning. 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm Mike Scott. 7 are hurt following a home fire on Chicago's northwest side. It broke out last night in the 1600 block of North Spalding Avenue. 6 adults, 1 child left homeless. No one is in custody after a woman was killed in a shooting in the Oakdale Gardens neighborhood on Chicago's far south side. Police say the victim was shot last night while sitting in the driver's seat of a vehicle pulling into a lot near 133rd and Ellis. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expected to officially announce his retirement later today. Sun-Times says the superintendent will announce he's stepping down at a morning press conference and work through the end of the year. The mayor tamping down on speculation on who his replacement may be.
I've seen a lot of speculation about different names, some of which are wildly off base. But as I said, we have a superintendent who is in place, and when the time comes to make an announcement, we'll make that announcement.
Former L.A. Police Chief Charlie Beck is the leading candidate to be an interim superintendent. Hundreds of teachers in the northern suburbs going on strike today. Classes are canceled at Grays Lake Elementary School District 46. Cubs season ticket prices are dropping next season. Club says season ticket holders will see an average price decrease of about 2.5%. College hoops, Notre Dame fell to North Carolina. Bulls cruised to an easy win over the Hawks in Atlanta, 113-93. Blackhawks welcome the Canucks to the United Center tonight. The news service of Napa Auto Parts, now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get 2 Proformer wiper blades free at participating Napa Auto Parts and Napa Auto Care centers. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The mainstream media wants to divide Americans into neat little groups, and they want you to believe that everyone in each of those groups thinks alike. John Anthony and Charles Love are here to blow up that lie. Join them for Black and Right this Saturday at 1 p.m. when they expose the lies of the media and the hypocrisy of the left and have fun doing it. It's Black and Right this Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Of course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Risk. How much are you willing to take with your business's computer and network system? Did you know, as of January 14th, 2020, Windows 7 will no longer be supported by Microsoft? That means no more security patches, no more updates, creating a huge security threat for your business if you don't have Windows 10 safely installed on your computers. Turnkey IT can help. If you've waited to update your network and computers to Windows 10, there's still time, but not much. Contact Turnkey IT as soon as possible to help make a smooth transition and not be vulnerable to security risks and viruses that will be able to attack your old Windows installations. Turnkey can also make sure all your hardware is up to the task of the more powerful Windows 10 operating system. And for a limited time, trade in your old Windows 7 PC and get $100 towards the purchase of a new Windows 10 Pro PC. The time to act is now. Support for Windows 7 is ending.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 6:06
on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Time to check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Telemonte.
On Chicago's northwest side, there's a building fire in the 3700 block of North Custer. Crews are staging nearby at Milwaukee Avenue and Addison. Kennedy inbound traffic is tight, Canfield to Lawrence, 24 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 22. We're seeing delays on westbound 190 from the Kennedy to the Tri-State due to a collision. About Eisenhower, delays start at Mannheim. It is 34 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Outbound Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Line is 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 420. Northbound Tri-State is tight approaching the Eisenhower. The other tollways look great. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
We do have a lakeshore flood advisory in effect today. It'll be partly sunny, the high 33. Clear and very cold tonight, low 17. Tomorrow, partly sunny, cold, high 33. And then times of clouds and sun on Saturday, the high 44. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
25 at O'Hare, next news 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the ammo event this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. Pick up great deals on ammo, like 50 rounds of 9mm as low as $10.99 per box. The more ammo you buy, the more you save. Load up this weekend at Shoot Point Blank's ammo event. See store for details.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Jeffrey Epstein, sex slave, pedophile investigation, and the media coverage of it. The attorney for one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, said it's a mystery why ABC refused to air her interview, adding they missed the boat. We, Virginia and her attorneys, were impressed by the work that ABC News did in the run-up to, in 2015, to airing it that never aired.
I mean, Virginia, she was in hiding for 12 years, and she came out because she trusted Amy Robach to tell her story properly, and they kiboshed it.
Stan Pottinger's lawyer for Giuffre, why their bosses at ABC, Robach's bosses at ABC, weren't equally impressed is a mystery, but if it was about fear of alienating the royal family as reported, that's not a news decision, that's a money call. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Giuffre has said before, and she says again to 60 Minutes Australia, I was trafficked to other billionaires. I was trafficked to other politicians. They should be named and they should be shamed. What they've done is horrific. There was not a part of my body that they did not abuse.
Yeah, I mean, she also believes Prince Andrew should go to jail for what he did. And I think that's one of the reasons why, if all this information came out, and Epstein, if they gave him, like a plea deal, just call out this politician or this prince, then, they didn't want to take that risk, and that's why I think they offed him in prison.
Well, just sticking on what we know, Amy Robach, again, the hot mic, the tape that was sent to Project Veritas, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Here's a summary of her frustrations for what her ABC overlords chose not to air.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on. to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, it was what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. You know, the ABC spiking the story, and NBC, their news director, Noah Oppenheim, running cover for Matt Lauer. It's remarkable, these predatory news agencies, isn't it? What they get away with?
And it's the same people that fired me for going swimming in Plainfield. Really, I think you have bigger problems than that.
Well, and so there's news organizations, and then I just come back to Chicago Public Schools and to schools generally. You think it's okay for adults to have sex with kids? You would think that's an easy question to answer. It doesn't appear to be. It appears that if you're powerful and connected and leveraged enough, you can avoid scrutiny. Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer. You're going to have powerful people running cover for you. Because it's in their financial interest to do so, or because they're complicit as well. What about if you're in an institution that has a lot of money and power? School systems. Carol Shakeshaft, an academic, did a report 15 years ago for the Department of Education. I've mentioned on the show before in the context of the CPS sex abuse scandal that nobody pays attention to. She concluded, estimating that between the years 91 and 2000 in America, there were about 290,000 students victimized.
290,000?
The physical sexual abuse of students in public schools is likely more than 100 times the abuse by Catholic priests in her report. 100x, she estimated. That 1 in 10 students will experience a school employee's sexual misconduct by the time they graduate from high school. That was one of the takeaways from her report. This piece at a site called Project Forever Free, which is run by an educator, a former educator and school committee member in Rhode Island. Her name is Erica Zancy. She talks about what she's trying to do, and she makes this connect to teachers' unions, ABC News and teachers' unions, and I'm so glad she does. Because pillaring ABC News and NBC News, that's easy and warranted. What about where you can actually exercise some control? Top brass at ABC News and teachers' unions are both complicit in the sexual abuse of minors. I've been working for 2 years on raising awareness and getting a law passed in my state of Rhode Island to protect students from sexual relationships with their teachers and have bumped into powerful forces who oppose my efforts. One would think that a law that criminalizes sexual contact between a teacher and his or her student would be a no-brainer. But in this very blue state of Rhode Island and also Massachusetts, the legislatures refuse to take action. The governors have nothing to say. The attorney generals haven't leaned in. In fact, many of the loudest supporters of Me Too, including female lawmakers in Rhode Island, who thought passing sexual harassment laws to protect themselves was a top priority, felt no obligation to provide the same protections for students, the minors they supposedly represent. That paragraph could be cut and pasted and directed at Illinois and CPS and the school systems in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of suburban schools that have had problems with teachers thinking they can freely have sex with their students.
It is currently legal in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for my 14-year-old son's teacher to sexually touch him if he gives consent.
What?
Yeah. They can't by law engage in, be graphic here, but penetration until he turns 16.
This is in Rhode Island?
And Massachusetts. The majority of sexual predators in schools are men, And so she asks, are we comfortable with our 9th grade daughters having their breasts and genitals touched by their teacher or coach or school security guard?
No.
Are we okay with teachers having sexual intercourse with students during their junior and senior year, or exchanging naked pictures via text or Snapchat with the children in their class?
Oh.
You think this is made up? It's not made up. Not made up. The opposition to the law she has supporting, Miss Anzi, from ACLU, from the teachers' unions, both oppose. They oppose legislation to make sexual relationships between teachers and school employees and students a crime. They're opposed to it. And then we're supposed to indulge all of their Me Too claptrap, the outrage over, and I'm not saying that it's not real and it's not deserving of attention as well. That's not mutually exclusive, but they're so outraged over, forget even groping, or something that is not
like
as
they're
not as
grooming them
abusive.
until they can be 16 and then
They still haven't gotten over, Trump's hot mic P comment. But this they have no problem. No. We don't oppose it.
It's disgusting.
USA Today, just 3 years ago, USA Today did a look. Teachers who sexually abuse students still find classroom jobs. For years, he had crossed the line in conversations with teenage girls using sexually suggestive language, even telling one student he'd date her if he were younger.
Gross.
By 2005, administrators at Orangefield Independent School District, about a 2-hour drive from Houston, had investigated complaints by 6 different students. When it came time to deal with the football coach, administrators didn't fire him or report him to police. They didn't even notify the Texas education officials who had the power to take away his teaching license. Instead, they let him become someone else's problem. They hid his behavior, and all McFarland had to do, this guy's name is Kip McFarland, all McFarland had to do was go teach somewhere else.
Sounds like the Catholic Church. When they would just send priests to different churches if they messed up.
It's the proverbial dance of the lemons. Yeah. This doesn't get any attention. Is it too unseemly to talk about? Which is more unseemly, to discuss this rationally like adults, or to turn a blind eye to it? That Shake Shaft report, does that concern you at all about what might be happening in your school district that's going unreported, uninvestigated, because you have teachers' unions perhaps running interference, because you have people choosing to be willfully blind? Randy in Lake Geneva.
Yeah, you did say Massachusetts and Rhode Island, right?
Yes.
Well, those are small states, so, not too big of a consequence. Anyway,
okay. All right.
Going back a few minutes with the Epstein thing, I'm really surprised that he didn't have some sort of, backup for, like, on cybersecurity or, something that would go viral in case he didn't, pass away. He did pass away. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for the call, Randy. He didn't have, like, if harm comes to me, then there's an automatic trigger that releases all the names to insulate himself from powerful people that would want to take him out. Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if Amy Robach's going to be watching this Sunday when 60 Minutes. Australia has the Virginia Roberts Giuffre story. The story that she worked so hard on is now going to be. She's coming out saying again that she believes Prince Andrew should go to jail. And she's going to be disclosing other things, because that picture that you've seen of her and him, she was a minor at the time.
Yeah, I'm all for a reckoning for Randy, Andy, and anybody else that is proven to have engaged in this horrific conduct. But again, do you want to look around you? Mm-hmm. Going back to Miss Angie, my own governor, Gina Raimondo, Democrat, thinks that one random shell casing found at a school bus is a reason to pass stricter gun laws, but refuses, despite repeated requests, to lean in on the current legality of sex between teachers and students in the state she governs. priorities. All of the patter about keeping students safe, doing it for the kids. How about doing it to the kids? Is that what's really happening? And this is, again, not to indict teachers as a profession. However, the combination of the Shake Shaft report, the real-world anecdotes that were detailed in this USA Today report from 3 years ago. 3 years ago. This isn't ancient history. And what we know happened at CPS. That doesn't concern you?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Carl on the south side.
Good morning. You know, the left is so hypocritical. These people, they want them to be able to vote and have sex, yet they're not old enough to choose to vape, smoke, or eat, drink, or even choose the food they eat in the cafeteria. But with sex with the teacher is okay.
I know. I mean, it's remarkable. I honestly, I don't know this. I don't know what the psychosis is. I'm just making suppositions. You just can't bring yourself to face it. You just don't want to know. In 2015, Congress passed a law requiring states to ban school districts from secretly passing problem teachers to other jurisdictions or face losing federal funds, but 45 states haven't instituted such a ban. Carol Shakeshaft reporting on some of the changes that have been made both at the federal level and the state level. I'm not against what's been put into law. It's just not much of a solution. Clay in Downers Grove.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I want to say that about 5 years ago when they started pushing for this whole legalization of gay marriage, there was a lot of people who came forward and said, you know what, this stuff is going to start getting more perverse and perverse. And this is my prediction. In another 5 years, pedophilia will be normalized. And we can see that now through that one kid who the left praises. I think his name was Desmond. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was that 7-year-old cross-dresser that was like the leader of the gay pride parade. And they had grown men throwing dollar bills at him while he was stripping.
Disgusting.
I mean,
yes.
What is this world coming to?
Where was
Thanks, guys.
Where was that?
That's right, Clay. I mean look, the sexualization of children. We talked about it in this show too. Well, we don't want to talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about it. So avert your eyes and ears if you want. New Jersey teacher molested 5 elementary school students. Oregon substitute teacher reached under a table to touch a student's genitals. An Illinois teacher who forced elementary students to eat food off of his crotch.
Ew. Oh, my God.
In each instance, the teacher had been disciplined for sexual misbehavior in a prior school district.
Who's vetting these teachers?
What do you mean who's vetting the teachers? The school districts.
Well, they're not doing a good job.
This just in. So, again, it's easy. Look, Matt Lauer and Harvey Weinstein, and even worse, Jeffrey Epstein and all of those that went to his island. And so, yeah, I get it. Right. Find them and bring them to whatever justice is available. What about in the schools in your neighborhood? What about where you live and where your kids are either, play or study?
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help! Seriously, I'm too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I got this bald spot.
It's thinning everywhere.
I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs and a free gift card to anyone who texts SECRET to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text SECRET to 85850. That's SECRET to 85850.
Hey, if you're looking to purchase and secure financing on a new home, then you need to call Team Hochberg. Let's introduce you to Maggie. Maggie and John were relocating from the East Coast, so they began searching online for a home and lender. Maggie was frustrated with the online realtors and lenders' lack of follow-up, so she called her father, Marv, for advice. Marv advised Maggie to stop wasting time with people online that she didn't know and strongly recommended that Maggie contact the only real estate team he trusted, and that is Team Hochberg, to help them locate and finance their new home. Now, Maggie spoke with a Team Hochberg mortgage professional who approved them to purchase a home before meeting with a Team Hochberg realtor. This will enable Maggie and John to quickly close after Team Hochberg's realtor helps them locate a home. Now, if you're buying or selling a home, call Team Hochberg now. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 676-1019, NMLS 112-4061.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, President Trump in Louisiana last night has some words for the whistleblower's attorney.
And before he went there, celebrating an accomplishment with judicial appointments at the White House. We'll have that at 6:36.
And later, Hicktown update just for you, Dan Proft. Rob Ford is coming back to Chicago. We'll tell you why and where. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
25 degrees. More witnesses called today to testify about the possible White House efforts to get Ukraine to investigate President Trump's political rivals. Former NSA advisor John Bolton has been called to testify in the impeachment inquiry, but his attorneys say he will not testify without a subpoena. Man who was detained by Mexican authorities in connection with the murders of 9 American women and children, no longer considered a suspect this hour. Ruth Warner, one of the slain family members' relatives, says to hear that news this morning is devastating.
I heard about what was going on with my brother and his family and my cousins, and I literally just had to I couldn't breathe. I was so devastated for them and for what they're going through.
Prosecutors say an investigation determined the man arrested was not part of the ambush. China says it's reached an agreement with the U.S. to start rolling back tariffs on each other's goods. Chinese Ministry of Commerce saying this morning the rollbacks will come in phases. Governor's race in Louisiana may be a toss-up. That's why President Trump is out trying to muster his support for challenger Republican Eddie Rispone.
You're going to have a great new Republican, tremendously successful man as your governor, Eddie Rispone.
President called the state a disaster, one of the highest murder rates and among the highest car insurance rates in the country. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions reportedly going to run for his former U.S. Senate seat in Alabama. Federal government expected to ban flavored vape products soon, possibly as early as today. A retired Air Force brigadier general is facing child pornography charges in Pennsylvania. Frank Sullivan was arrested late Wednesday after authorities found thousands of searches for preteen images on home computers. The search also turned up pictures of children engaged in graphic sexual acts. 7 are without a home following a fire on Chicago's northwest side. No one in custody after a woman was shot and killed on Chicago's far south side, sitting in a vehicle near 133rd and Ellis. And Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expected to officially announce his retirement today. Bulls cruise to an easy win over the Hawks in Atlanta, 113-93. Blackhawks welcome the Canucks tonight. The news a service of InvisibleFence.com. Let Invisible Fence brand be your second set of hands this holiday season. Their indoor shield units can do just that, creating an invisible boundary to keep pets off furniture, countertops, even out of entire rooms. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. InvisibleFence.com. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees the cheapening of words.
This impeachment stuff is beyond belief. Remember, the left cheapens everything. Impeachment means nothing now. Impeachment means we don't like the last election results. That's what it means. It used to mean you actually committed serious crimes.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
The late, great Winston Churchill said, "You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks." Pretty wise words considering all of the distractions in modern society.
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
You love listening to AM 560 The Answer. How would you like to work for us? If you have experience in sales, we'd love to talk to you. You already understand our mission and what we do, so now maybe you'd like to join our team. If you have sales experience, and specifically if you understand digital marketing, we might have a job for you. If you love us, come join us. It could be a life-changing opportunity for you. For more information, just go to the Careers tab at salemmedia.com.
It is 6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Bensonville, we have a report of a collision involving a vehicle and a deer northbound 83 at 3rd Avenue. Inbound Eisenhower delays start at Wolf Road. We're looking at about 39 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. It's heavy York 283 with a crash there. Edens is fine. Kennedy 26 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 24. Westbound 190 is heavy from the Kennedy to the Tri-State with crash. Stevenson now 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is 22 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 24 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford already 40 minutes. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is heavy. Michigan Avenue to the Oak Street curve with a collision. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny today, 33, clear, very cold. In fact, the National Weather Service is warning about a chance of hypothermia likely without protective clothing tonight. The low 17, but colder in the western suburbs. 23 right now at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning before we move on to the judiciary, which I do want to get to. Chris in the Gold Coast, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Chris.
Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the one thing that explains all of this is a sense of tribalism or a sense of protect our own, even if we know something that our own have done is objectively immoral, wrong, or even illegal. I think that whether it's the news agencies, whether it's the universities, the CPS, or the churches, that explains it all. The other thing that would explain it is a sense of follow the money. If these things are going to cost those organizations money and they want to cover them up, they're going to do that. And I think that sense of protecting our own is a dangerous one.
Yeah, it's great points, Chris. Tribalism, as talking about what we were talking about before Mike Scott's newscast. The focus on the whole high profile. I understand that. Weinstein, Lauer, Epstein. I get the focus on the hypocrisy at NBC News for covering for Lauer, at ABC News for covering for Epstein. I don't get the lack of focus on schools in your neighborhood based on everything that we know to be true. And maybe tribal, certainly money matters. That's money. People put money over what they know to be right, over ethical conduct. Sure. And tribalism. I think there's something there. I think that's right. All right. President Trump was in Louisiana rallying the faithful last night. He's got a gubernatorial election in Louisiana on Saturday. Incumbent Democrat John Bel Edwards facing a strong challenge from a Republican who, in a deep red state. So this would be a very nice pickup for Republicans if they were able to win that race on Saturday.
And he went after the whistleblower's lawyer who had tweeted out a few years ago that a coup was coming and that President Trump will be impeached.
A coup has started, and the impeachment will follow. Ultimately, it's all a hoax. It's a scam.
In addition to that, but prior to heading down to Louisiana for that rally, President Trump had an event at the White House talk about what has been accomplished with respect to judicial appointments, sort of a below-the-fold piece of the Trump legacy. But, boy, is this important and substantial. Trump describing what his administration and, importantly, Republican-controlled Senate have been able to do.
Thanks to many of the people here today, my administration and Republicans in Congress have now confirmed more than 150 federal judges. And to be honest with you, it's substantially higher right now than that, Mitch. It's about 159, and we should have within the next short period of time, like 2 months, we should have about 182 federal judges. How's that?
Yeah, there's roughly 900 Article 3 judges in the country. So when you're approaching 200, that's substantial. In point of fact, of the judges confirmed under Trump, 43 are appellate court judges, which is very impressive by comparison. That's 14 more appellate court judges than George W. Bush, 16 more than Clinton, and 22 more than Obama had confirmed at the same point in their presidencies. He is transforming the federal judiciary, and that is a legacy that will extend beyond his, certainly beyond this term, and he wins re-election even beyond a second term. He's flipped the Third Circuit Court of Appeals covering Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. Flipping means creating a majority of judges on a circuit court nominated by the president from the same party. He's also on the cusp of flipping the Second Circuit Court, covers New York, Vermont, Connecticut. The 11th Circuit covers Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Made notable gains in the notoriously liberal Ninth Circuit, which covers the western part of the country, Alaska, Montana, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, Hawaii, and so on. And speaking of the Ninth Circuit, there was this Judiciary Committee hearing, Senate Judiciary Committee hearing for another Trump nominee, Lawrence Van Dyke, last week. And several senators brought up an ABA letter, American Bar Association letter, that smeared Van Dyke as arrogant, lazy, ideologue, not qualified, and also suggested that he would not be fair. He potentially wouldn't be fair to any litigant before him, notably members of the LGBTQ community. And this exchange led to this reaction from Van Dyke.
Did you say that you wouldn't be fair to members of the LGBT community?
I'm sorry. No, I did not say that. I do not believe that. It is a fundamental belief of mine that all people are created in the image of God, and they should all be treated with dignity and respect. Senator.
Look,
get a hold of yourself. Jeez.
That was sort of my reaction, too, I got to tell you. I don't believe there's no crying in baseball and there's no crying in judicial confirmation hearings. So it's an interesting response, but,
I mean, I know it's a tearing process on your soul, but man up a little, huh, Sally?
Van Dyke graduated magna cum laude from Harvard. He was a clerk in the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in D.C.
Yeah.
And the backstory on this ABA smear, Real Clear Politics reporting that a longtime Dem donor Michael Black had something to do with the ABA giving Van Dyke a poor rating. Democrat senators using derogatory statements from a Montana Justice Department official, that's Michael Black, to justify their opposition to Lawrence Van Dyke, without disclosing that the official, Black, had donated nearly $30,000 to Democrats running for federal office, and that he and Van Dyke are longtime political foes. Look, this is why, but for those of you, we don't spend a lot of time on this. The American Bar Association is an organization of left-wing hacks.
Right.
It deserves no respect, just as the AMA deserves no respect, particularly after they fell in with Obamacare. These professional trade associations, you think there's some like good housekeeping seal on doctors, AMA, or lawyers, ABA? No. And George W. Bush, in his wisdom, finally stopped with this idea of waiting for an ABA rating of a particular nominee before that nominee was put forward for confirmation. That deference was wholly inappropriate, and now it's completely gone. And good riddance. Who cares what the ABA says? Ignorant editorial boards who know, as a general rule, know nothing about the law or the legal profession, but they default to these trade associations, these, basically gatekeepers to the profession to protect their little cartels like the ABA. This is so important, and I know it's not salacious, and there's not back and forth, and it's not sexy, and the work of our third co-equal branch of government, the judiciary, goes largely unnoticed on a daily basis, but it turns out to be wildly important in a free society, the role of the judiciary. And the impact that Trump is having, the judges he's nominating, and the approach that he took, and we talked about this with Molly Hemingway and Carrie Severino at Freedom Fest Summit Palooza this weekend. Per their book about the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, and Carrie Severino, who clerked for Justice Thomas, is a very well-respected attorney and very bright attorney. But this is super important, and the approach that President Trump has taken by not just enlisting the Federalist Society, by putting together this list, putting together the list for Supreme Court nominees, having people lay the foundation for nominees to federal district courts, to courts of appeal, to the Supreme Court, has been wildly important. So for as much as we hear about, it's Operation Chaos at the White House, I think that's overstated, number one. Number two, when it comes to this, judicial appointments and remaking the judiciary after 8 years of Obama, I mean, this is, you want to make a case for President Trump to those people who like some of his policies and dislike his personality. What has he done besides the tax cuts, deregulation? This is as important as anything he's done. The Supreme Court nominees and the nominees to the bench down the chain of command, if you will, because of their lasting impact on the rule of law. As important as anything he's done, and it shouldn't go unnoticed. And I'm glad that he took time out of his schedule to have that event at the White House to bring in members of Congress, particularly on the Senate side, of course, McConnell, Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and highlight this accomplishment because it is a real, tangible, lasting accomplishment.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Senator Rand Paul blocks the Senate whistleblower resolution. Congress expands penalties for animal cruelty. And American Airlines may return the 737 MAX to the air very soon. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Dennis Prager. There are over 400 programs in the Prager store, and now by becoming a Pragertopia Unlimited member, you can listen to every program in the store. Courses, lectures, show segments, even my Torah teachings. Almost everything I've ever recorded over the last 20 years, over 1,000 hours of program. Of course, Pragertopia Unlimited members get every radio show since 2009 as well, all commercial-free on demand. Wow. No, this is a big deal. This is truly a big deal, if I'm allowed to say that about my own work. For a limited time, it's only $119 for an entire year to join Pragertopia Unlimited. Get to listen to every show in the Prager store, every lecture I've given, every course. And you'll get a coupon for 50% off the Rational Bible, Genesis, which is autographed. I put my life into these works. They're meant to change your life, open up your mind, and they make a spectacular gift. Go to Pragertopia.com and sign up. Pragertopia Unlimited.
In a surprise move late yesterday, Senator Rand Paul blocked a Senate resolution that would have affirmed support for whistleblower protections. Senator Paul cited the House impeachment process based on an anonymous source. The senator says President Trump has the right to face his accuser. He called on the national media to reveal the person's name. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker says his airline is feeling more confident that the grounded Boeing 737 MAX jets will be approved to fly again soon. The Senate has unanimously passed a new law making cruelty to animals a federal felony. Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, the primary sponsor of the legislation okayed in the House, so it's now headed to President Trump's desk for signature. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
My Pillow, excuse me, let me start that over. 3, 2, 1. MyPillow.com. That's where you go to get the greatest products ever. I'm talking about the MyPillow, which conforms to your neck and back. You get the best sleep ever. You can wash it in the washer and dryer when it gets dirty. It is the best. Only to be compared to the Giza cotton sheets. Don't waste your money going to the department store and buying Egyptian cotton. The Giza cotton sheets, the cotton comes from the same region. It's much more affordable, and it's actually softer. So go to MyPillow.com, and right now you can get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the mattress topper, the pet beds, and now the new MyPillow towels that come in different colors. Hand cloths, washcloths, and bath towels. Try it all, and there's a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty, so you have nothing to lose. Go to MyPillow.com Type Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code and 30% off your entire order. MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Stop wasting energy. There's a better way. Your company could be receiving energy efficiency incentives by recycling waste heat from on-site power generation equipment and turning it into useful energy. The federal government is pushing utility companies to be more efficient. In turn, utility companies are offering incentives for your business. Charles Equipment can help get you up and running with cogeneration, also known as CHP, combined heat and power. A clean and efficient way to generate heat and power. CHP systems can supply at least a portion of a building's electrical load and capture waste heat from hot exhaust gases for use in heating, cooling, hot water, and dehumidification. Charles Equipment can install and manage the cogen equipment at your facility and help your energy use become 70 to 90% more efficient. Start making better, more energy efficient decisions and save money in the process. Call Charles Equipment 630-834-6000 or online at charlesequipment.com. Reliable industrial generators. They've got the power.
Attention. If you're in debt to the IRS and frustrated with your options, for a limited time you can call and quickly check your eligibility for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problem. Through this special toll-free hotline number, you can find out in minutes if you qualify for these powerful new debt reduction programs greenlighted by the IRS for 2019. If you have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or just want to know your options, business or personal, Republic Tax Relief's A-plus rated tax relief system has helped thousands stop IRS collections immediately and saved millions in tax debt. These relief programs will not last forever. Call their hotline number now, 800-606-8489. That's 800-606-8489. Check your eligibility for tax debt savings today. Call 800-606-8489. That's 800-606-8489.
AM 560, The Answer.
Time now for another reason why Dan Puft is single.
I put the singing single. Ain't worried about a ring on my finger. So you can tell your friends. Shoot your shot when you see.
Recent research has shown that what women want in a short-term partner and a long-term partner differ.
Oh, I know what you want in a long-term partner. Stability. Him to have a great job.
Best friend.
Oh my God, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to vomit. Today I married my best friend. Please.
Building on a study in the Journal of Psychological Science last year, a study conducted by the female health app Clue.
You have that downloaded on your phone, right?
I do. Sheds further insight into what women want exactly when it comes to casual sex partners.
Casual Sex Partners, that was the name of my grammar school band. We're very advanced.
Jesus and the Mary Chain tribute band.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to mess around.
The survey used data from 68,000 users of the app. 6 traits are key.
Let's see if I agree with this. Go.
6 traits. Now, this is for the casual partner,
Okay.
the short-termer.
Yeah.
The use them and lose them. Number 1, you need to be taller than her. Height bias is still very much real. 90% of respondents said the short-term partner had to be taller than them.
Okay.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
Please tell me
Which
if you
makes
disagree.
me know that I don't have casual sex because not many people are taller than me. Hey-o. All right, well, we'll be right back. All right, what else you got?
You don't necessarily need to be smarter. While having similar education levels may be important for women seeking a lifelong mate, only 46% of American women thought intelligence was an important trait for.
move on.
You just look pretty. You just shut up and look pretty.
Don't talk. Go. What else you got?
You don't have to be buff. About half of all
Who's
women.
buff these days, anyway? I mean, no offense.
None,
all of you guys.
None taken.
I think Mike Scott might be the buffest of them all here.
No. Half of all women surveyed considered body type to be a very important factor when deciding on a partner for a casual encounter. But if you don't have a six-pack or bulging biceps, don't fret. Fit, athletic physiques were found to be most popular among women, 50%, but average body types got 30%.
All right.
All right.
What else?
Your ethnicity and religion don't matter. Well,
Who
sure.
cares? I mean,
These godless
move on. Yeah,
relationships, of course not. Don't forget to smile. It lights up the world in a room. Having an attractive smile was one of the most important factors for women from almost every country in the Clue survey. So when you're on a date, remember to show you're enjoying by flashing those pearly whites if you want that encounter.
It's not too off.
I don't like to smile. I don't want to smile. And so
that's why Dan Proft is single.
Well, that among these other 5 traits too, and the whole idea of this whole thing is this is why Dan Proft is single.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we're going to talk to Trump whisperer, yes, Dilbert cartoon creator Scott Adams. He's got a new book, Loser Think: How Untrained Brains Are Ruining America. That should be interesting. 7:07.
And he's gone but not forgotten, and he's coming back to Chicago. Frank Robb. And Chance
Not Rob Ford coming back to life. Frank Robb just coming back from Florida.
He's coming back from Florida. We'll tell you why. And Dan, you're going to go to this event. I can't wait. But first, let's go to the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Is he bringing the gator? That's all we need to know. Grace Lake District 46 teachers going out on strike. We'll tell you why. Some Illinois universities seeing an uptick in enrollment. WIND Chicago News Time. It's 7 o'clock.
The first funerals are today in Mexico. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. For the 9 Americans massacred on Monday, Fox's Evan Brown is following all this live.
Yeah, Dave, the families of those 9 people killed while traveling through Mexico are now headed through the same route to attend the funerals, and they're under armed guard. Mexico's president suggests the victims were caught in the crossfire between warring drug gangs, but relative Leah Staden insists
it wasn't an accident. They weren't in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Donna Ray Langford will be buried at the first funeral this morning, along with 2 of her children. Later today, Ronita Maria Miller and 4 of her kids will be interred. A third funeral is planned for tomorrow, Dave.
Evan President Trump, who has called for the whistleblower in the Ukraine controversy to be revealed, went after his lawyer last night at a rally in Louisiana. The whistleblower's attorney, Mark Zaid, calling him
a sleazeball.
The president read tweets from 2017 when Zaid wrote a coup was underway. Impeachment will follow, and
I predict at CNN will play a key role in at real Donald Trump not finishing out his first term. Can you believe this?
The president again calling it all a scam and a hoax, but Democrats insist he has violated his oath of office. And today, House Democrats plan to question an advisor to Vice President Pence, who was on the call listening to the conversation between President Trump and Ukraine's leader. Ex-National Security Advisor John Bolton may or may not testify today in the inquiry next week. Public hearings begin. The first witness, someone whose private testimony made public yesterday, Bill Taylor, acting ambassador to Ukraine.
Taylor responded to questions from New York Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin, saying,
I don't know what was in the president's mind. Zeldin, so where was this condition coming from if you're not sure if it was coming from the president? Taylor, I think it was coming from Mr. Giuliani. Zeldin, but not from the president. Taylor, I don't know.
That's Fox's Mike Emanuel. America's listening to Fox News.
Skies are mostly cloudy. We have 23 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 7 are without a home following a fire on Chicago's northwest side. Blaze broke out last night in the 1600 block of North Spaulding Avenue. Chicago Fire is still investigating a cause. No one is in custody after a woman was shot and killed on Chicago's far south side. Police say the victim was shot last night while sitting in the driver's seat of a vehicle pulling into a lot near 133rd and Ellis. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expected to officially announce his retirement later today. The Sun-Times says the city's superintendent will announce he's stepping down at a morning press conference. Mayor Lightfoot refused yesterday to speculate on a replacement.
I've seen a lot of speculation about different names, some of which are wildly off base. But as I said, we have a superintendent who is in place, and when the time comes to make an announcement, we'll make that announcement.
Former L.A. Police Chief Charlie Beck is a leading candidate to be interim superintendent. Hundreds of teachers in the northern suburbs going on strike today. Classes canceled at Grayslake Elementary, District 46, as educators and support staff hit picket lines. Pay is the main issue dividing the two sides. College basketball, Notre Dame fell to North Carolina 76-65. Illinois State a win over Belmont. Professionally, the Bulls cruised over the Hawks in Atlanta 113-93. The news service of Mattress Firm. At Mattress Firm, you can get early access to the Black Friday sale. Shop now and save up to $600 on a king bed for the price of a queen. Plus, take home a free adjustable base when you spend just $4.99. It's the best deal of the season. 7:03 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity can't make heads or tails of the left.
To be a liberal Democrat, extreme radical socialist today, you have to suspend any fidelity to truth, to honesty, to common sense and reason. Because in their world, up is down, down is up. You know, black is white, white is black, green is purple, purple is green. That's the world they live in.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You've heard Rumpke's Garage commercials on AM 560, and now they specialize in servicing Sprinters and light-duty diesels. But the experts at Rumpke's also service Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. So if you own an Isuzu or Chevy low-cab forward truck but aren't sure where to get it repaired, take it to Rumpke's Garage, your #1 dealer alternative for repairs to your Isuzu NPR, Isuzu F-Series, or Chevy low-cab forward truck. Whether gas or diesel, your truck is the lifeline of your business. That's why Rumpke's Garage offers free loaners while your truck is being serviced. They'll even pick up and deliver for your convenience. Rumpke's Garage has the factory scan tool to properly diagnose Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty. Go to Rumpke'sGarage.com to learn more about their specialization in Isuzu and Chevy low-cab forward trucks and schedule your appointment today. That's Rumpke's, REMKES, Garage.com.
Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
7:06 on AM 560. It's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. And time to check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Telemonti.
Lakeshore Drive, southbound traffic is heavy this morning. Belmont to past North Avenue. There was an earlier crash in the area. Northbound Lakeshore Drive delays are from the Stevenson to Jackson. The Edens runs 25 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, 40 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, a little quicker on the Express. Eisenhower, 45 minutes. 390 to the Burn Circle. Stevenson, 56 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 28 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 32 minutes. I-80 to the merge Bishopport, 40. Northbound Tri-State delays are from 115th and Ridgeland to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Northbound Veterans Memorial is having the Fountain Toll to Maple. Reagan Tollway delays start before 59. I'm Jim Telemonti on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A lakeshore flood advisory in effect today. Partly sunny, the high 33. It'll be clear and very cold tonight, low 17. Partly sunny tomorrow, the high again 33. And then partly sunny for Saturday, the high up to 44. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
23 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the ammo event this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. Pick up great deals on ammo, like 50 rounds of 9mm as low as $10.99 per box. The more ammo you buy, the more you save. Load up this weekend at Shoot Point Blank's ammo event. See store for details.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader, Pagliacci, as he's known, was on the Senate floor on Tuesday, setting up the announcement Wednesday that public hearings would be commencing next week, Wednesday. Saying,
can't wait.
saying,
Must see TV.
Saying this about the process.
The investigation is not yet complete. Jumping to conclusions before all the facts come out is misguided. It's unbefitting of a senator's role as judge and juror of a potential impeachment case.
Like that guy that invented the pet rock? I had an idea like that once, a long time ago.
Really? What was it, Tom?
Well, all right. It was a jump to conclusions mat. You see, it would be this mat that you would put on the floor and would have different conclusions written on it that you could jump to.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, Tom.
I actually like Tom's idea from Office Space better than I like Chuck Schumer's don't jump to conclusions. He's obviously chastising Senators Perdue and Graham and Scott, who basically said what we know to be true. There is no case for removing the president from office. There's not going to be a single Republican to vote for this if articles of impeachment were to come over from the House. But the idea of Chuck Schumer lecturing Republicans on jumping to conclusions.
It is comical.
This is a man who's a leader of a party where anywhere, as we talked about earlier in the week with Phil Kerpen, anywhere from 25% to 40% of the House Democrat caucus have voted to impeach the president, moved resolutions to impeach and remove the president from office because of criticizing NFL players who kneel during the national anthem, because of criticizing the squad and telling them to go back to their countries of origin.
Because of not releasing his tax returns. Everything he does, they have a whole list.
AOC said he should be impeached because of tax cuts.
Oh, that's right.
Because of a citizenship question on the census, the effort to put one on. Because of emoluments, a word that she's still trying to wrap her mind around. I mean, it's remarkable the suspension of disbelief that's required to listen to Chuck Schumer or Adam Schiff and nod your head, which is why We need somebody skilled in the art of linguistics and how people receive communication. And that, of course, is Trump whisperer Scott Adams, Dilbert cartoon creator. He's got a new book, Loser Think, How Untrained Brains Are Ruining America. And I don't think he just means in Congress, but he certainly includes Congress. Scott Adams, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So the reaction to the rule of the mantra from Democrats at present on impeachment, rule of law, rule of law, rule of law, and the investigation is not getting complete. We're doing a methodical investigation, and we're trying to get to the facts, following wherever the facts go, to defend the Constitution and uphold the rule of law.
Well, they've got a huge blind spot there because they're all deeply engaged in the details of this story, non-story, who talked to who, who the diplomats are, who's the whistleblower. But the average voter, if they were successful in getting an impeachment based on the Ukrainian phone call, the average voter would be left thinking, did you just impeach him for wording something wrong on a phone call? What was that crime again? So I've got a feeling that the public is not going to be able to grasp just why he would be impeached. But I don't think there's much risk. The Senate won't do it.
What about the quid pro quo, the sort of essentially trying to gaslight the public and say, look, if there was a quid pro quo, then, and if you know what that means, if there's a quid pro quo, that means he should be removed from office. And if we can establish there was a quid pro quo, then by the transitive property, we have to remove him.
So they've done a clever thing, the Democrats have, and I have to give them credit in a persuasion sense. They've managed to frame this thing as digging for dirt on an opponent. Now, I guess you could say that's technically true. But another way that they could have said it, or at least the Republicans could say it, is that he was asking the same questions that are of great interest to the American voters. Wouldn't Democrats and Republicans want to know if there was anything there that would make Biden a walking dead candidate? Would they want to nominate somebody who's got a little problem that's going to come up later? I would think they would want to know too. So I don't know that you can impeach a president for asking the same questions the public wanted to ask.
But that gets, muddied because the fact that the whistleblower used to work for Biden. And do you think that's why they're just going to such great lengths to try and hide his identity?
Yeah, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but it doesn't seem as if every story that has anything to do with Washington, D.C., somebody's associated with Farrakhan there's nobody who's not associated with somebody who's been to jail or should go to jail. So I'm always a little wary of the association stuff. But how much would you like to see Ted Cruz interrogate the whistleblower on national TV?
Very much.
Man,
that would be spectacular.
Oh, my God. Just from an entertainment perspective, that would be amazing.
I'll even take John Radcliffe over on the House side. But the Republican arguments, give us your assessment of the Republicans' arguments. Or they're making a procedural argument in one sense. That's multi-pronged. Procedural argument, it's an unfair process, and it's an illegitimate process, and if the process is illegitimate, then the result is, by definition, illegitimate. It wasn't a quid pro quo, but then sort of arguing the alternative, if it was a quid pro quo, it doesn't matter anyway because it doesn't rise to the level of a high crime or misdemeanor.
Well, part of the problem is that they seem to have several different approaches, and they're cycling through them. The president generally settles on the simplest message because simple is effective. So just saying that the transcript shows it was perfect was okay, but I don't think it went far enough. I wouldn't give him an A+ on this one. I would say that a better message would have been something along the lines of he was asking the questions that the American people really would like to know and is a top priority. Is there any foreign interference that we need to worry about involving the guy who's polling to be the next president of the United States? It's the very problem that people have in their minds as one of the biggest problems in the country, and he was asking about it. I just don't see how that turns into a crime.
I want to you can use impeachment as an example to perhaps elucidate this, but your book, Loser Think, this is so important because you go right to the problem in politics, at least for conservatives, which is defending against emotionally salient arguments that are intellectually vacuous. They have great emotional appeal. They're intellectually devoid of substance, but they can often win the day. And so the tips that you have to deal with those sorts of arguments, those sorts of appeals.
Well, the first thing to do is recognize them, and I always recommend that people sample both sides of the political news. So if you're not watching what the left and the right are saying, you might be missing stuff. So that's step one. But you often see that a lot of the headlines and a lot of the accusations involve somebody imagining they can read the mind of a stranger. Well, what you did was okay, what you did was legal, but we're pretty sure that internally the way you were thinking about it was just selfish and that you had some other motive, even though what you did was fine. And if we start judging people by what strangers imagine we're thinking, we're doomed. We need to back that up and say, how about judging people by their actions, because that's the part you can verify. And then, of course, the funniest and worst thing you see is the analogies as replacements for any kind of reason. And that takes the form of, I like to use this example, if your cat has a little markings under its nose that look like a Hitler mustache, that does not predict that your cat will invade Poland. Right. Sometimes things just remind you of other things, but that's all it is. It doesn't predict anything. You see that all the time.
I've seen those cats before.
Yeah. Then the main thing that they get wrong is what I call the comparison problem, which is saying that something is good or bad without looking at either all the costs or at least what is the next best thing you could be doing. So those are the big things you see, and then dozens more that I talk about in the book.
What about the ad hominem mantra? Hate, 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 all the isms, all the phobias. People get backed down by that. I mean, for goodness sakes, you had a nominee for the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals break down into tears last week, essentially in the face of such criticism. That has real political power for people, the name calling.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's probably more effective than it should be. But at least everybody knows what it is when they see it. They know it's an illegitimate attack. And I typically declare victory on Twitter when somebody goes after me personally. If I present a point and somebody argues it, and then I use my superior thinking to to knock them down. Usually the next thing I hear is, okay, boomer, or, who listens to a cartoonist, or something to diminish me.
Right.
Can we move over to Kentucky real quick? And Matt Bevin, the governor there, still has not conceded. Now he's claiming, voter fraud because he's down 5,000 votes. But do you think that his loss is just local politics, or do you think President Trump should be concerned?
These are always multivariable things. So it's one of the things I talk about in Loser Think is that as soon as you latch on one variable and say, well, it's because the president, or, well, it's local politics, the answer is going to be it's all those things. And it's hard to tease out the one thing that made the difference in a complicated situation. But I think we'll probably be over-interpreting Trump's involvement in just about everything as a general rule.
One of the challenges is to deal with people who take policy positions as articles of faith. Green New Deal, Greta Thunberg, the how dare you. There was a good piece in the Wall Street Journal by Andy Kessler recalling the great author Michael Crichton and Crichton's conundrum, as he termed it, the idea that I'm against something or I'm for something, so whatever theory supports my conclusion must be right, and then the debate is over, and I don't need to contemplate any countervailing evidence. We see this all the time in the climate change discussion. Any insights into how to deal with those who take climatology or some other public policy matter as an article of faith?
Well, when it comes to climate, almost everybody who's talking about it doesn't know what they're talking about, because we're not scientists and we're not climate scientists, and even the climate scientists probably focus on the part of their field that they're the expert on. So the good news is, in the case of climate, that the solution is the same whether you believe it's a problem or not a problem, because we're going to need nuclear energy no matter what climate is doing, and we're going to need a lot of it just to keep the planet clean and enough and have enough power for people. So there's a lot happening in the nuclear power field with the so-called Generation 4 nuclear plants that are such as Bill Gates' company, one of the ones he invests in, TerraPower. They've got some designs that will eat nuclear waste for their fuel. So it actually decreases nuclear waste, and it can't melt down by design. So if things go wrong, it just stops working. It doesn't melt down. So that's the sort of stuff that we should be prototyping. They're already designed. They're ready to go. They just need space and approval. And we need to iterate that a few times, and then I think everybody's going to be happy, because I don't know anybody who's not in favor of trying every energy solution that we can.
All right, one more. I'm going to need some advice and counsel on this one.
Okay.
Class envy politics. You know, the eat the wealth arguments that eat the rich, confiscate the wealth arguments that are made mainly by the left.
Well, you know, you're never going to get away from the fact that people are going to try to take money from other people. That's just basic. So these things tend to be argued as fairness, but fairness, I always say, was invented, the concept of fairness, so that children and idiots would have something to say, because the real world doesn't operate on fairness, because no two people could agree what it looks like. So it's not a standard you can achieve. The real world works on power. If somebody had the power to redistribute money, they might do it. But if they don't have the power, they won't. Calling it fair or unfair is really just a distraction.
He is Scott Adams, the creator of the Dilbert cartoon, the author of the new book, Loser Think, How Untrained Brains Are Ruining America. Pick that up. Scott Adams, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results vary. Exclusions apply.
Contacts and glasses are such a hassle. I'd love to finally get LASIK, but
I'm going to stop you right there. If you want LASIK, then the LASIK Vision Institute has officially taken away everything standing in your way.
Isn't LASIK expensive?
Not at the LASIK Vision Institute. We're offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. See for free if LASIK is right for you by texting TOP to 350350.
But I'm really busy.
A text only takes seconds. The LASIK procedure typically only takes 15 minutes, and most patients can get back to work the following day. The LASIK Vision Institute uses the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision. Dr. Greenberg has performed 75,000 LASIK surgeries and is one of the most experienced LASIK surgeons in Chicago. And we're offering 20% off our already low-cost services.
What's that text again?
Text TOP to 350350. That's TOP to 350350 to schedule your free consultation today.
Hey, if you own a business and are planning for 2020, listen to this important message. A big change is coming to Windows that will directly impact your networking system. Windows 7 is expiring in mid-January, and Microsoft will stop releasing updates and patches for this version. Without those updates, your network security will be compromised. Windows 10 is a required operating system to keep your network secure, and Turnkey IT can help your business information stay safe, your employee information, and most importantly, customer information. They can keep it safe with a free security audit, which is normally valued at $600. They'll even recommend a complete strategy that offers protection for your company's data and network. Let the pros at Turnkey IT help you start the year out right with the ultimate security protection and a network upgrade. You've heard the Turnkey IT name for a long time here on AM 560, and they're just like you. A locally owned business that understands the needs of other local businesses. In fact, Turnkey IT specializes in working with businesses that employ 5 to 200 employees. So leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of your number one home mortgage company, Townstone Financial. They're lying to you. No, not that your nuts are fried. The mortgage guys aren't telling you the truth. They aren't telling you that they get paid more for putting you in an FHA or VA mortgage. They certainly aren't telling you that their trust network is all about how much one guy can pay the other guy. And they definitely aren't telling you that in order to keep their trust network profitable, you, the borrower, are paying higher closing costs as well as a higher interest rate. They're counting on you not to shop for your home mortgage and to just trust them. The solution Attention, get a quote before you move forward. Before you sign on the dotted line, please do yourself a favor and go to townstone.com, and in 10 minutes, we will review those so-called trustworthy guys and show you why since 2002, nobody beats Townstone Financial on interest rates and closing costs. So give us a call now at 312-896-2110 because nobody values your home purchase and refinance business more than Townstone. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Oh, the boys fight over it every morning. Balance of nature. They want to get their fruits and veggies in because I know as a mom that they're not getting enough fruits and vegetables on their own. And I try. I buy all this produce, and it sits in the refrigerator, and it sits in the refrigerator, and it always ends up in a landfill. So start getting healthy now by ordering and then taking Balance of Nature. Just 6 capsules of Balance of Nature. You're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. You hear stories right here on this station about how people's lives have changed by taking Balance of Nature. And the next story could be yours, but you've got to order Balance of Nature today. So experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Balance of Nature is offering a 35% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Now, this offer may end at any time, so do not wait. Call this number, 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. And ask about Dr. Howard's Health Challenge. Use discount code Chicago, too, when you call, or simply go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
And Hicktown update. Your guy, Frank Robb, not Rob Ford.
Right. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, you know him. He gathered up Chance the Snapper and all that. I mean, it was unbelievable the amount of coverage he got. They broke into live programming once, too, on ABC to show him catching Chance the Snapper. Well, he's coming back from T-shirts to bobbleheads. The saga of Chance the Snapper and Alligator Rob continues with a new coloring
Name
book.
assassinated.
I know. Guess what the name of the new coloring book is?
Chance the Snapper.
The Adventures of Chicago Chance and Frank Robb. The book will be released this week, but he's coming to the Broadcast Museum November 16th, and I got you a seat.
Thank
where
you.
He can sign The Adventures of Chicago Chance and Frank Robb book.
And is that coloring book going to be part of the high school curriculum in CPS?
Well, it is part of coloring book, part of an interactive book as well. But now he's an author. He can put that on his list and maybe find some more lady friends here in Chicago. I wonder how it's going with that girlfriend.
When you go to the Broadcast Museum of Broadcast Communications.
That's where it is, November 16th.
Yeah, well, you can ask him. You can ask him for an update on his love life and then share that with a bunch of people who don't care.
Maybe we can get him on the show, huh?
I'd love to have him on the show, actually.
Okay.
I'd love to have him on the show. I mean, he seems like a perfectly nice guy. My comments have never been critical of Frank Robb. It's critical of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest hick town in America.
Biggest hick. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Bernie bros have a difficult time naming a Democrat accomplishment at the University of Minnesota. And at Colorado State, no black face for a black face. Our latest campus beat at 7:37.
But first, let's head straight into that newsroom. For news here at home and around the world, here is the one, the only, a very buff Mike Scott.
Not today.
You lift, right? But you lift?
Not as much. Not as much anymore. Mostly body weight stuff.
That's good.
Not the heavy stuff anymore.
Good talk.
Because
Thanks.
I can't. 23 degrees. I'm weak. 23 degrees, cloudy skies. President Trump is out with a denial this morning of a new report that he tried to get Attorney General William Barr to clear him in the Ukraine controversy. The man who was detained by Mexican authorities connected with the murders of 9 American women and children no longer considered a suspect. Prosecutors say an investigation into the man determined he was not part of the ambush of victims. President Trump says the best is yet to come, telling a cheering crowd in Louisiana last night he's working hard to take back the House and he'll be back in Louisiana soon.
And if you don't vote early, I'll be back on Thursday to get you to vote on Saturday, okay?
President heads to Louisiana next week as well for another rallies before voters head to the polls there. Iran reportedly has canceled its accreditation of a UN nuclear inspector. Iran briefly actually held an inspector working for the UN nuclear watchdog, seizing her documents. Federal prosecutors are charging 2 former Twitter employees and another man from Saudi Arabia with espionage. Prosecutors accuse the men of working as foreign agents by accessing private data. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions may try to get his old Senate seat back. The Alabama Republican expected to announce a bid this week before a filing deadline. 7 are without a home here in Chicago on the northwest side after a blaze broke out last night in the 1600 block of North Spalding. No one is in custody after a woman was shot and killed on Chicago's far south side last night while the victim was sitting in the driver's seat of a vehicle that pulled into a lot near 133rd and Ellis. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expected to officially announce his retirement this morning. Hundreds of teachers in the northern suburbs are going on strike today. Classes are canceled at Grayslake Elementary District 46 as educators and support staff hit the picket lines. Could be a big breakthrough, and it's happening in medical research here in Chicago as neurology researchers at Northwestern Medicine say they've made an important discovery related to ALS. It's that self-cannibalizing mitochondria in the brain may play a critical role in the development of that disease.
We actually found that mitochondria eats itself up in the upper motor neurons that become diseased in ALS.
The unexpected find by Dr. Hande Ozdinler and her team could lead to brand new ways to fight ALS and other neurodegenerative diseases. College hoops, Notre Dame fell to North Carolina. Illinois State a winner last night. Professionally, the Bulls bounced back in a big way. They crushed the Hawks in Atlanta, 13-93. The news, a service of InvisibleFence.com. Let Invisible Fence brand be your second set of hands this holiday season. Their indoor shields units can do just that, creating an invisible boundary to keep pets off furniture, countertops, even out of entire rooms. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. That's InvisibleFence.com. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
With all the noise and political spin of the news cycle, it's easy for the things that really matter to get lost. Sources with knowledge cuts through all the clutter to bring you biting commentary on the week's events. This Sunday at 3 p.m., your hosts Eric Cohn and Joe Kaiser bring you insight on politics and policy, as well as culture, sports, food, and everything else you need, so you can understand what's happened this week. It's Sources with Knowledge this Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Rick Blavelone, second-generation owner and CEO of Marketing Innovators and a customer of Signature Bank. Our family-run company was founded on the belief that connecting to people on a human level is the best way to build a great business. And when we were looking for a new bank, we didn't have to look far. We shared an office building with Signature Bank in Rosemont and quickly saw that they were truly locally owned and operated. That's why we partnered with Signature. And that relationship makes every business decision better and every communication clearer. Marketing Innovators looks forward to a long-lasting relationship with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. In 2016, one of my employees accidentally clicked through an online vendor's contract, which recommitted my company to an additional 12 months of their service. I called the vendor to explain the accident. Nope, they pointed to their ironclad contract, told me to pay or else. I will pay them, but after 12 months, I'm gone. I've been in business over 30 years, and I've never made my customers sign a long-term contract. Never. And now, my fifth successful company, Patriot Software, offers payroll to business owners with 1 to 100 employees, and there's no long-term contract. And if you need help with your payroll, we will help you for free. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
7:36 a.m. 560 traffic center time, and Jim Telemonte.
Northbound tri-state traffic is heavy from 115th and Ridgeland most of the way to Ogden, then from the Reagan Tollway up to 190. Southbound delays are 22 to Lake Cook. It's got Reagan Tollways jammed, Randall to Eel. Northbound Veterans Memorial delays, I-55 Maple and Roosevelt to St. Charles. Eden's 25 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Kennedy 53 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 19 of the Express. Eisenhower, 53 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 32 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishopport, 40. Southbound Lakeshore Drive delays, Irving Park to North Avenue. I'm Jim Telemonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny, 33 today. It's 23 right now at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retire Chicago. Tune in Saturday mornings at 8 to Retire Chicago with John McNamara of McNamara Capital.
Cause they got the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
Dan and Amy, let's start at University of Minnesota. You know, I had that big rally with the Bernie Bros, Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, a couple of socialists railing against Western imperialism, you know, America. So Campus Reform got out there and asked a simple question to those in attendance. The last 3 years, biggest accomplishment Democrats have achieved. What's the thing you're most proud of that you say that was a great accomplishment?
Over the last 3 years, what's one thing that the Democratic Party has accomplished?
Well, they over the last 3 years.
Since Trump's been in office,
Trump's been in office? Not a whole lot, man.
On Sunday, Representative Ilhan Omar held a rally with Bernie Sanders at the University of Minnesota. The College Fix attended this rally, asking students if they could name one thing the Democrats have accomplished in the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, what's one thing the Democrats have accomplished?
I guess they've taken back the House, but I mean, they're not that good at using their authority or their power.
I felt they haven't really done much over 3 years. That might have been because Trump has been in office, but over the 3 years there hasn't been much done. I felt, at least.
I would say Bernie Sanders igniting this passion in people.
As far as like a tangible accomplishment, like a piece of legislation or a bill, what are you most proud of?
It's a tough one.
Dig deep.
I mean, I really liked the Green New Deal. If it passed, I would really be psyched about that. But
Good pass.
I just really enjoy they're really pushing the Green New Deals. Definitely that.
I know that they've passed the raise the minimum wage bill in the House, but a lot of the stuff, you know, like gun reform and everything, has been blocked by, you know, Mitch McConnell in the Senate. So,
over the last 3 years, what's one thing the Democrats have accomplished?
In the last 3 years?
So Trump has been in office for the last 3 years. What's something that the Democrats have accomplished during that time?
I can't.
Oh, wow. I think just resisting like Trump in general and like some of the things he's done, I think they've done a really good job of that.
Good job of resisting. Yeah, that's about the closest thing you get to honesty and accuracy from those young intellects at University of Minnesota. Now, it's just nice to have company with respect to dum-dums in the Big Ten because, of course, Attorney General Sessions spoke at Northwestern this week, and it was greeted by obscene protests, people trying to bum rush his entrance into the building, his exit from the building, Sessions being shouted down. This is he said Sessions did. This great university should not be putting up with this kind of trash, talking about the behavior of Northwestern students. Police apparently had a stand-down order making arrests even after protesters disrupt Jeff Sessions. So another example of my alma mater being in the news and the value of my degree declining as a result. Then last piece over at Colorado State University. This enterprising student named Kobe Peters, this is an African-American student at Colorado State.
Have you been there? It's a gorgeous campus.
I have not.
It's nice.
Colorado State nickname? The Rams, that's correct.
Oh, the Rams, you're right.
Kobe Peters, a member of student government.
African-American student, you said?
Day before Halloween, you can dress up. And he decided to dress up.
As what?
And then the hijinks ensued.
We were allowed to dress up in costume. This is the day before Halloween, just on Wednesday, October 30th. And I chose to come in as Justin Trudeau in blackface. And as soon as the meeting started, they motioned to remove me, and they voted me right on out of their Senate body.
So
wait, blackface, he's African-American. He couldn't wear blackface as Justin Trudeau?
No blackface for the blackface. Kobe Peters, he picked up on the irony. That was sort of the point.
Well, as you can see, I cannot take off my blackface. So adding on another shade, in my opinion, doesn't change anything. I chose this costume to bring out the hypocrisy that we have, Canada's reelected Justin Trudeau on the back of the endorsement of Barack Obama. So we really need to figure out whether blackface is okay or it's not okay. And the fact that I was voted out immediately just shows how hypocritical a certain side of the ideology is.
Indeed. The bright young man there. I love the provocateur nature of what he did. And you see the picture. It's hysterical.
I want to see it. Do you have a picture
with the Trudeau wig and everything. The blackface, black guy wearing blackface, Trudeau style. He's thrown out
as Aladdin, right?
He's thrown out, and but Justin Trudeau, Ralph Northam, they're rewarded by the electorate, right? So is blackface wrong, except for leftist elites? Is that what we're to understand? A black kid can't do it to parody leftist white elites, but the leftist white elites can do it with impunity?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
So Northwestern and the Bernie bros at U of M up there in Minnesota may not give you much hope for tomorrow, but there's the Kobe Peters out there that have the propeller spinning and making things uncomfortable for those who have otherwise succumbed to the totalitarian re-education camps. I just love that. I love that approach. I love that approach of highlighting the hypocrisy in human form by a member of student government, seeing what they will do. What a great experiment. That's a sharp kid. And that's a lot of fun.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've been taking it for 5 years, and I have not been sick once. I tell people all the time, I went to Texas 3 years ago with my wife and my son. We were all in the same hotel room. I was sleeping in the middle of them. They were both so sick, hacking away. My daughter called from Jersey. She was sick. She threw up. I never got sick. So nobody can tell me these things don't work. I'm thrilled with it. I really am. I just don't get sick. I don't even get colds anymore. It's amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, if you want your basement to be dry most of the time, then Permaseal is not the company for you. Permaseal hears story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? Then why would you settle with a wet basement? For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right, you can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it is still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or go to permaseal.net.
12 days of Christmas? Not likely. At Tasty Catering, their chefs have been cooking up brand new winter menu items all year long. So when the temperature drops and you start humming holiday jingles, they're ready to serve you the best holiday party catering feast around.
The highly anticipated Tasty Catering holiday menus are already available online for you to browse. And what's more, the Tasty Catering staff is ready to use their award-winning service to get you into the holiday spirit.
Holiday party planners from companies throughout Chicagoland, from downtown to the far suburbs. Tasty Catering invites you to their kitchens to taste some delicious holiday menu items. Then let their friendly team help you plan the most successful holiday party yet.
Don't wait. Call them today at 847-593-2000 or visit tastycatering.com to schedule a holiday lunch date on them.
Visit tastycatering.com now. Full menus are online and their staff has an invitation waiting for you to come and sample.
tastycatering.com, 847-593-2000.
Hey, if you're looking to secure financing on a new home, then you need to call Team Hochberg. Maggie and John were relocating from the East Coast, so they began searching online for a home lender. Maggie was frustrated with the online realtors and lenders' lack of follow-up, so she called her father, Marv, for advice. Marv advised Maggie to stop wasting time with people online that she didn't know and strongly recommended Maggie contact the only real estate team he trusted, and that is Team Hochberg, to help them locate and finance their new home. Maggie spoke with a Team Hochberg mortgage professional who approved them to purchase a home before meeting with a Team Hochberg realtor. This will enable Maggie and John to quickly close after Team Hochberg's realtor helps them locate a home. If you're buying or selling a home, call Team Hochberg now, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-600-5451. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-600-5451. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-600-5451. 1-800-600-5451.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all control the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, listen up. How would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? Would that qualify as a Christmas miracle? Well, that could happen if you enter and win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest that runs now through December 20th. It's presented by AM Woodland Outdoor Design, but you can only win if you enter. And to do that, you need to go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle, to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2020. Really, this is the best giveaway ever. Good luck.
If only Yuri Raffaelli would have won our contest in time.
Who's Yuri Raffaelli?
83-year-old retired engineer in Michigan who underpaid his property taxes by $8.41.
Well, that was a mistake on his part because he's old. He probably couldn't see the numbers, right? Didn't have his bifocals out.
Bit of a costly mistake. Oakland County, Michigan seized this property, auctioned it off to settle the debt, and pocketed nearly $24,000 in excess revenue from the sale. Under Michigan law, that's all legal. And not even uncommon, reports Reason magazine.
Well, did they let him know that he was missing $8 in his property taxes?
The law, passed
awful.
20 years ago in an attempt to accelerate the rehab of abandoned properties, empowers county treasurers to act as debt collectors. In the process, it creates a perverse incentive by allowing treasurers' offices to retain excess revenue raised by seizing and selling properties with delinquent taxes, even when the amount owed is minuscule, as in this case, and even when the homes aren't abandoned or blighted at all. Home equity theft. We have a different version of home equity theft here. This is, I mean, this obviously would never happen in Illinois because even if you pass that law, you couldn't sell the property for a profit.
Right.
So nobody would ever do it. So you don't have to worry about this coming to Illinois. But, Michigan, where maybe you're thinking about moving, maybe you have a summer home, you better be on the lookout. Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's when it comes to the property taxes. He bought the home, 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot home in a predominantly African-American community in Southfield, Michigan.
That's
8 years ago. $60,000 purchase recorded by the Register of Deeds.
Yeah.
6 months later, he was notified he had underpaid his property tax bill by $496. He made the property tax payments on time and in full.
Okay.
Then he attempted to settle the debt, the unpaid tax debt, according to documents. But he made a mistake in calculating the interest owed, resulting in another underpayment of $8.41.
Oh, my gosh.
A year later, Raphael's rental property was one of 11,000 properties put up for auction by Oakland County, and again sold for $24,500 in August of the same year, far less than what he had paid for the property just 3 years earlier. But hey, that's just $24,000 for the kitty for the treasurer's office.
Oh my God.
Yeah. By the way, the property's worth estimated by Zillow.
Right.
Today.
Well, so he bought it for $60,000. What is it now?
128 is what they estimate.
Ouch.
So not only did he have it seized, and he lost the money that he put up, as well as the property taxes he paid, he lost out on the opportunity to get the return on investment that he otherwise would have realized. I believed in the power of the U.S. to withstand the difficulties. I believed in its fairness and dignity in doing business there. Now he's not so sure. Raphael's attorneys estimate there have been more than 100,000 properties, along with the entire equity in them, that have been taken by Michigan County since 2002. They argue in court, in thousands of instances each year, the proceeds for a given property sold at auction far exceed the delinquent tax amount and are far less than the delinquent taxpayer's equity in the property. This results in millions of dollars in surplus proceeds and equity for the counties and tax sale purchasers. Yeah, this really is a seizure. This is unconstitutional. And I'm glad to see Mr. Raffaelli is fighting it. Russ in Elmhurst, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, good morning, Dan, Amy. By the way, I loved talking with you at the Freedom Forum.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway,
Freedom Summit.
I went to go and repost and make a comment on that article that you were talking about with the young man from CSU.
Oh, from Colorado State, the black kid in blackface to parody Justin
I went
Trudeau.
to go make a comment. Facebook said that I couldn't because I wish I would have had the whole thing, but it said I couldn't because it was reported as being abusive.
You couldn't comment. Your comment was abusive, or the story was abusive?
No,
the story was abusive.
The article was.
Oh, the article is abusive.
Was deemed abusive.
Yeah, it doesn't meet community standards.
I know. You know what?
Oh, that's interesting.
I cry for my nation if this keeps going the way it is.
That's interesting. And Mark Zuckerberg, thanks for the call, Russ, and that's sharing that information with us. Well, I tell you what, Facebook seems to be more inclined to allow for speech than, say, Twitter, less manipulative than Google. Maybe not, according to some of the Facebook docs that were made public yesterday, showing their sort of lack of interest in user privacy, despite a lot of their public protestations to the contrary. So maybe what you have with Zuckerberg on free speech is the same thing. We're going to see how it plays out. I know certainly there have been pro-life groups and others who've been banned or put in Facebook jail for no good reason. They weren't incendiary. They weren't profane. It was just, I'm pro-life, so I'm promoting the pro-life cause. I'm promoting a pro-life organization, and they get banned. The same thing here. So a black kid parodying Justin Trudeau, this is parody, to make a point, that's abusive. Okay.
I did see the picture, and he could have put a little more effort into his costume, but I know that's not the point.
Yeah, I think
should have rented an Aladdin outfit.
I think the insight was the important thing. Perry and Niles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, well, good morning. They're always asking, what's going to happen to the children? What's going to happen to the children? Now we know, even if you're 82 and you go into your second childhood, that's what's going to happen. They're going to take your house.
Yeah, well, you're talking about this Michigan case, $8.41 under, and
They put this old man out on the street.
Yeah, and they pocketed the profit off the sale of his house.
Thanks for the call.
Which is even worse.
Thanks for the call, Perry. Over the past decade, more than 150,000 properties in Detroit have gone through the tax forfeiture process, according to one Detroit-based mapping firm. The process is punitive for property owners and profitable for the county, says this same firm.
Think the government cares about you in Michigan? They don't, especially in Oakland County. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, this is happening system-wide because the policy, the law, presents perverse incentives for government to make these seizures. Perverse incentives. It's something we know a lot about in Illinois. Michigan does it more formally. Illinois does it less formally. You know, they boil the frogs slowly here. Michigan just dumps the hot water on you.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Luke Goodrich, Deputy General Counsel at the Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty, about some of the cases before the courts on that topic. That's at 8:08.
But now let's head straight into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Grays Lake District 46 teachers going on strike today. Chicago's top cop, will he or won't he announce his retirement? Outside, we have partly sunny skies. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
It's a fake con job. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump has tweeted that, reacting to a Washington Post report that he wanted the Attorney General to hold a news conference to declare the president had broken no laws in his much scrutinized call with Ukraine's leader, asking for an investigation into the 2016 election and Joe Biden and son. But Bill Barr wouldn't do it. Well, the president wrote the Attorney General did not decline his request, adding the Justice Department has already ruled the call was good.
It's all a hoax. It's a scam. And you know who helps them? These people right back here, the media.
The president at a rally last night in Louisiana. Now this hour, House Democrats who insist he did violate his oath of office hope to get more answers. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, former National Security Advisor John Bolton is not expected to show up for his closed-door interview with committees conducting the impeachment inquiry. Bolton was thrust into the spotlight of the probe after former top Russia advisor Fiona Hill testified that he described efforts to have Ukraine announce political corruption investigations as a drug deal. Another witness, advisor to Vice President Mike Pence, Jennifer Williams, has arrived on the Hill for questioning. Williams was reportedly on the July 25th phone call with President Trump and the leader of Ukraine. Dave.
Rachel, a mother murdered along with two of her children, will be laid to rest today in Mexico.
Hundreds of mourners arriving the quiet little Mormon enclave in La Mora under protection from Mexican security ahead of today's funerals for the 9 Americans slaughtered on Monday. Many getting a first-hand look at the carnage that unfolded at the hands of vicious drug cartel gunmen.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. The family believes the 3 women and 6 kids were targeted intentionally. Mexico's president disputes that, suggesting they were caught in the crossfire of a drug gang war. Hope is fading in Dayton, Ohio, for a police officer shot during a drug raid Monday night. The police chief calls the head wounds not survivable. America's listening to Fox News.
Partly sunny skies, 22 chilly degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 7 are without a home following a fire on the northwest side. Blaze broke out last night in the 1600 block of North Spalding Avenue. No one in custody after a woman was killed after a shooting on the far south side. Chicago police tell us the victim was shot last night while sitting in the driver's seat of a vehicle pulled into a lot near 133rd and Ellis. Hundreds of teachers in the northern suburbs are going on strike today. Classes are canceled at Grayslake Elementary School District 46 as educators and support staff hit picket lines. Pay is the major issue dividing sides. An investigation is underway after students at 2 high schools in Chicago hospitalized after eating brownies and candy infused with an unknown substance. The first incident happened yesterday at Epic Academy College Prep, the second at Fenger Academy High School. Illinois universities are seeing a slight uptick in enrollment numbers after 3 years of steady decrease. Chicago sports found Notre Dame falling to North Carolina in college hoops, 76-65. Professionally, Bulls cruise past the Hawks in Atlanta, 113-93. It's 8:03. Time for the AM 560 Business Beat. It is a service of Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs. And now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Deirdre Bolton, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More people are driving Toyotas. The auto company is reporting a stronger than expected summer quarter. Its earnings were the strongest since 2015. Sales in North America were up more than 5.5%. Sales in Asia were up nearly 3.5%. The company says new models of the RAV4 and Camry have been well received. Toyota also says it's buying back $1.8 billion worth of stock, or 34 million shares. Futures are pointing to a higher Wall Street open, and stocks are higher in Europe after China signaled that a Phase 1 trade deal with the U.S. is close to being completed. Stocks were little changed yesterday after reports that a meeting to sign the U.S.-China trade deal could be delayed until December. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
It's 8:04 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, how would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? Would that qualify as a Christmas miracle?
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, you betcha. So it could happen if you enter to win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, presented by AM Woodland Outdoor Design from now through December 20th. But you can only win if you enter. And to do that, go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle, to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2020.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher here. You've heard me talk for years about all the problems I have with trying to eat right. I have formed a partnership with an amazing American success story, Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating. They've been shipping me delicious portion-controlled meals. They're fresh. They're never frozen. Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating, operated by a wonderful dietitian nutritionist. It's like having my own personal chef. And it's saving me a lot of time shopping and stopping off for food. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, over 90 million meals meals have been served the past 33 years by Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating. No gimmicks, no fads, no BS, just delicious, clean, healthy meals shipped directly to your home twice a week. Contact them today and get started. Tell them Mike Gallagher sent you and you'll get a special discount. Call Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating, 800-442-3438. Call 800-442-3438 or go to seattlesutton.com. That's seattlesutton.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
8:07. AM 560 traffic center time and Jim Talamonte.
Eden's inbound delay start at Devon. It's 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. Kennedy 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 28 from Montrose. 22 in the express. Outbound 35 minutes to O'Hare. Eisenhower. It's now an hour and 7 minutes. 390 to downtown. 47 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 55 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour 16, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 32 minutes, ID to the Birds, Bishop Ford, 40. Delays on the eastbound Reagan Tollway or Farnsworth to Wheel and Winfield to Gackley. Northbound Veterans Memorial, I-55 most of the way to Ogden at Roosevelt St. Charles. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
We do have a lakeshore flood advisory in effect today. It'll be partly sunny, the high 33. Clear and very cold tonight, low 17. Tomorrow, partly sunny, cold, high 33. And then times of clouds and sun on Saturday, the high 44. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
22 at O'Hare, 27 Lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss the ammo event this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. Pick up great deals on ammo, like 50 rounds of 9mm as low as $10.99 per box. The more ammo you buy, the more you save. Load up this weekend at Shoot Point Blank's ammo event. See store for details.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy updating the James Younger case in Texas.
Oh, yeah, the 7-year-old boy who was going to have chemical castration because mommy wants the boy to be a girl.
Right, per a divorce proceeding and a custody arrangement. Dr. Ann Georgioulas claims her son identifies as a girl. She wants to put him on experimental drugs. Judge, after Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, Senator Ted Cruz, Texas, weighed in on the case, a judge later expanded upon her ruling and said that James's dad is going to have a say in his son's medical treatment as well.
Good.
7-year-old James off to school. Friends of the father shared images of James and his brother Jude heading to school dressed as boys. Jeff emailed the principal today, and James and Jude's teachers had reported that there was zero stress or disruptions in the classroom today, just another day in school, prayers answered. The group Save James posted on Facebook with a prayer emoji. Dr. Michelle Critello, who's a pediatrician and ED at the American College of Pediatricians, suggested previously that mom in this case could have Munchausen by proxy.
Oh.
She could be the real issue here. It's a disorder in which, of course, the adult feigns either a physical or psychological condition in their child for their own subconscious reasons. Most often, the perpetrator is a biological mother. Most often, she has a background in health or medicine.
Okay.
Cretella saying, in the case of imposing gender dysphoria in a son, there are cases in the scientific literature of severe maternal depression triggered in a mother longing for a daughter. The mother's depression lifts when the boy dresses and acts like a girl. This has been termed gender mourning, an actual psychological condition. I don't know. She's diagnosing from afar, but nonetheless, James seems to be growing out of whatever confusion he was experiencing, whatever he indicated in terms of wanting to be a girl that his mother picked up on, and his father certainly did not. And this, again, goes to what's happening in America. That is a disturbing case, and it made international news, and we're going to follow it, and we should. But in school districts around the country, including here, Palatine District 211, and others, what's happening is the same thing that happened in Fairfax County, the 10th largest public school district in the nation. Fairfax County voted 10-1 to let boys use the girls' bathroom. 10-1. This is a piece by Kathy Roos at thestream.org. She's works for the Family Research Council. She said, I never focus on public schools. My kids go to Catholic schools. That was the center of our universe. But then she heard about this vote, and she started to look into what was going on in the Fairfax public school system. If only more parents would do the same. There I saw moms and dads begging the school board at these board meetings she attended to stop threatening their child's privacy and safety in intimate spaces and on sports fields. They pleaded with the board to stop the pornographic reading assignments. They tearfully asked them to respect their family's religious beliefs. Nope. And this all began, with the sentimental passage of a non-discrimination policy that included gender identity in 2015. Every year, beginning in 7th grade, children in Fairfax County school system will be taught lessons on transgender theory. For example, the rest of the curriculum. 6th grade lessons talk of sexual partners. 7th graders get a lesson with 11 references to oral sex. Beginning in 7th grade, students are taught their sex was assigned at birth and taught about transgenderism as a healthy sexual identity. 8th graders get a lesson with 22 references to all forms of graphic sex. What are the benefits of abstaining from sexual activity until in a faithful monogamous relationship? It's a fake abstinence message that essentially argues against. 10th graders get lessons in promoting abortion, getting an abortion without telling their parents. This is the curriculum. Fairfax County School Board automatically enrolls every child in 80 hours of sex ed without the parents' permission. And that's the syllabus, what I was just describing.
80 hours.
It's not, and I apologize.
It's 2 class periods at the most.
I apologize for using the term sex ed because it's now called family life.
Oh, yeah, Dan. Get it right.
Last year, Fairfax County stopped using the terms male or female in the context of biological sex. Last spring, the school board voted 10-2 to remove the concept of biological sex and replace it with the term sex assigned at birth, as you just heard me read. Another sex ed lesson voted by the school board last year involves a pill known as PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's designed for a particularly high-risk, I've never heard of it, but it's designed for a particularly high-risk population, gay men with multiple sex partners of unknown HIV status. It's a controversial drug even in the gay community. With a 10% failure rate, it lowers the risk of infection enough to encourage some to abandon the use of condoms. Michael Weinstein, the founder and director of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, said of the drug, it will cause a public health catastrophe by triggering a dangerous increase in risky sex. The school board voted 10-2 to promote it to students every year beginning in 9th grade, even when the drug was not approved by the FDA for their use. This is how radical the agenda is. And on the trans issue, since we were talking about James Younger,
yeah,
I mean, it's worth remembering a Swedish academic study found that suicide rate among post-op trans-identified people 20 times higher than the suicide rate among non-trans. Miss Bruce makes the important point. This is not about bathrooms, and it's not about bullying. It's about forcing all children and families to change their behaviors, their speech, and ultimately their beliefs to conform to the new government-mandated social orthodoxy. Your religion is discriminatory, thus you must abandon that belief system, among other even secular, commonsensical beliefs. 10th largest school district in the country, Virginia. And you want to understand why Virginia is for Democrats, is for cultural Marxists? You surprised by Tuesday's results? Don't be. Wow. Happening all over the country. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Luke Goodrich. He's the Deputy General Counsel at the Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty. He's the author of the new book, Free to Believe, The Battle Over Religious Liberty in America. Luke, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy. Thanks for having me.
So why don't we start with the topic we were discussing, the Younger case in Texas, this Fairfax County political agenda so instituted by its school board, and just how much of a threat that sort of the trans rights movement, the gender as a social construct movement is to religious liberty in this country.
Yeah, it's a major issue. You've really hit the nail on the head. That long-standing traditional beliefs about human sexuality, even about biology, are now viewed in many quarters as controversial and even discriminatory. So you mentioned James Younger. I'm handling a case right now out of Texas. I'm representing a Catholic hospital system and an association of Christian doctors and healthcare professionals. Because at the end of the Obama administration, the government passed a new regulation under Obamacare saying that all doctors and hospitals across the country would have to participate in gender transition procedures, these kinds of controversial sex change operations and cross-sex hormones, or else they would be deemed to be discriminating based on gender identity, a major threat to the practice of medicine. So we brought a lawsuit and got a federal judge to strike that regulation down and say that doctors and hospitals cannot be forced to participate in these procedures in violation of their religious beliefs and their medical judgment. But the ACLU's intervened in that case. They can appeal, and these are the types of regulations we're increasingly seeing across healthcare, even homeless shelters where there's pressure to allow biological males to enter women's homeless shelters. So it's a deeply troubling area.
And how can people protect their religious freedoms?
Well, that's why I've written Free to Believe, and I offer not only an understanding of what the conflicts are, but practical steps that all Americans can take to ensure that their religious freedom remains protected. Whether you're a business owner, ministry leader, pastor, just a man on the street, there are practical steps that you can take to protect your businesses and ministries. And that involves things like looking at your own employment policies. A lot of these religious freedom conflicts are coming from disgruntled employees who are suing businesses or ministries because of their religious beliefs. You also look at threats coming from the outside. What types of lines of business are likely to attract a lawsuit, or what types of partnerships with the government are going to bring conflict. And then lastly, we can just look at our daily life, at staying informed, being politically involved, and making sure that the government knows religious freedom is a fundamental human right, extends to people of all faiths, and is an essential part of American society.
How important is the case before the High Court right now, before the Supreme Court, that the Detroit Funeral Homes case as it pertains to private property, religious belief, employment policy?
It's a very important case. So there's actually three cases: Bostock, Altitude Express, and Harris Funeral Homes. And they involve employment discrimination laws. So for a long time, a law called Title VII prohibits discrimination in employment on the basis of sex. But a number of LGBT rights groups are trying to expand this law to cover not only sex, but cover sexual orientation and gender identity. So as you said, a Christian owner of a funeral home was sued by one of the employees who wanted to show up to work as the opposite sex. And if the High Court expands the law in this way, there are literally tens of thousands of religious organizations across the country that have traditional religious beliefs about sex and marriage and often expect their employees to live in accordance with those beliefs and not undermine the mission of the organization. And if the court goes the wrong way on this case, those tens of thousands of religious organizations would all face new lawsuits and new potential liability. So it's a very significant issue.
You know, I've said of President Trump on the issue of life and the issue of religious liberty more generally that he's sort of like Batman. He's not the hero you want. He's the hero you need, as it's turned out. I mean, would you say that that one of the enduring legacies of President Trump, whether he's one term or two, is what he has done to, at least in an attempt to advance protections for life and religious liberty in the last 3 years?
There have been some very important strides made. And one area in particular, just yesterday, there was a court ruling involving a new Trump-era regulation designed to protect conscience in the context of healthcare.
Right.
Similarly, we're currently, my firm Beckett represents the Little Sisters of the Poor, and they are a Catholic order of nuns who, during the Obama administration, the government tried to force them to provide contraception and abortion-inducing drugs in their health insurance plan in violation of their religious beliefs. We took their case all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in our favor and said, surely the most powerful government in the world can find a way to give out contraception without using Catholic nuns. And then President Trump issued a good regulation protecting the Little Sisters of the Poor, but that's now being challenged in court as well. A number of Democrat state attorneys general are suing the Little Sisters and suing the Trump administration, and we've appealed that case back to the Supreme Court as well. So you're absolutely right. The administration, for all its flaws, has made some very significant strides on religious freedom.
What do you say to men and women of the left who profess to be Christian, like the people Amy goes to church with?
No, they're Christian.
That profess to be Christian. And they vote for Obama because he's affable and he seems like a nice guy. As Mark Hemingway said, sure, he seems like an affable guy and a nice guy, and he was good father. And he's the same guy who tried to force nuns to pay for abortions. What do you say about them, or maybe encouraging them? I don't know. What do you? I'm at a bit of a loss, as you can tell. What do you say to them about how you reconcile the positions you're taking in secular life with the faith and the protection of the faith that you profess to hold dear?
Yeah, I'm not in the business of telling anybody how they should vote, but when it comes to religious freedom, I wrote Free to Believe in order to help Christians, among others, understand why religious freedom matters and how it's threatened and how we protect it. And I think there are some Christians, both on the right and the left, who get religious freedom wrong, mainly by treating it exclusively as a political or legal or constitutional issue. Just a religious freedom as a culture war issue. But if you are a Bible-believing Christian, there's a lot of messages in Scripture underscoring the importance of religious freedom, not just as this political tool in a culture war, but as a basic issue of biblical justice rooted in the nature of God and the nature of man. And it's not something we can just cast aside as a luxury, say, oh, well, the church flourishes under persecution, bring it on. And it's also not something we can just pretend there are no problems here in America, because there are real problems.
How concerned were you?
And we need to. Yeah.
I'm sorry. How concerned were you that Bobby O'Rourke, before he exited stage left, raised the issue, and I don't think he's alone in this belief system, of suggesting that if you don't comport your faith to the government's secular orthodoxy on certain issues, you should lose your nonprofit status?
Yeah, that was deeply troubling, but also not surprising, because if you pay attention to a lot of the arguments on the progressive left, they tend to liken traditional Christian religious beliefs about sex and marriage to a form of bigotry akin to racism. And the government has powerful tools to eradicate racism, and they now want to train those tools on traditional Christian ministries, churches, and businesses, and strip them of tax-exempt status and punish them. So it's a very significant threat. But I address in my book why that analogy to racism fails. and how we can resolve these conflicts in a way that respects deeply held beliefs about sex and marriage.
He is Luke Goodrich. He's the Deputy General Counsel at the Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty, the author of the new book, Free to Believe, The Battle Over Religious Liberty in America. Luke, thanks for joining us. Good luck with the book.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Amy.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line, but we have some breaking news. Eddie Johnson is going to be stepping down today, according to ABC7. And our new interim police chief is going to be Charlie Beck. He's the recently retired chief of police at Los Angeles Police Department. So, Eddie Johnson stepping down.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Now that winter's here, how's your fireplace and chimney? Before you light the first fire, have your chimney cleaned and inspected by Chicagoland's most trusted fireplace and chimney company. The experts at Fireplace and Chimney Authority will give your family peace of mind that your fireplace is safe and works properly all season long. And if you call today, get $45 off a cleaning and inspection. You'll be all set. Since 1995, Fireplace and Chimney Authority has been the favorite for everything fireplace and chimney. For a limited time, get 10% off any new purchase of a fireplace, new doors, gas logs, insert, or fireplace tool sets and screens. With record-breaking cold predicted this winter, now is a great time to update your existing fireplace or add a new fireplace to your home. Remember to get your fireplace serviced this winter and receive $45 off your chimney cleaning and inspection. Call Fireplace and Chimney Authority now, 630-279-8500, or visit online, fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com. Fireplaceandchimneyauthority.com.
Who would move from Long Beach, California to Chicago? Whew.
They don't have any power there.
Oh, that's right. Charlie Beck, interim police chief. All right, listeners have helped build MyPillow into the amazing company that it is today. And now Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, wants to pay it forward and give back to the listeners. And you can get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. Just go to MyPillow.com and click on the new radio listener special box and type Amy in that promo code. It really is the best product. It's American made, and there's a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. And they have the pillows, which are the best, travel pillows, which also are amazing, the Giza cotton sheets, the mattress topper, the pet beds. And now they're rolling out the new MyPillow towels, which are very absorbent and soft. So go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in that promo code, and you'll get 30% off your entire order. Or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Attention. If you're in debt to the IRS and frustrated with your options, for a limited time you can call and quickly check your eligibility for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problem. Through this special toll-free hotline number, you can find out in minutes if you qualify for these powerful new debt reduction programs greenlighted by the IRS for 2019. If you have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or just want to know your options, business or personal, Republic Tax Relief's A-plus rated tax relief system has helped thousands stop IRS collections immediately and saved millions in tax debt. These relief programs will not last forever. Call their hotline number now, 800-606-8489. That's 800-606-8489. Check your eligibility for tax debt savings today. Call 800-606-8489. That's 800-606-8489.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Well, my God.
We have some additional breaking news. This reporting, a listener reporting this to us.
I've been to 2 McDonald's this morning, one in the city, one in the suburbs. Their system is down. Us food lovers could not even get a lousy cup of coffee. I think this is a major news story. Please be on it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
We are all over it, and we are in contact with Los Angeles McDonald's franchise operators.
Make sure it has nothing to do with the power outage.
No, who will fly here like Charlie Beck is on an interim basis to run those McDonald's without coffee.
Like that guy that invented the pet.
The bumps you feel are asteroids smashing into the hull of this ship. Also, we're flying without a navigational system and can't seem to change course.
Miss, are you telling us absolutely everything?
Not exactly. We're also out of coffee.
Let's go into the newsroom now. Here's Mike Scott.
22 degrees, partly sunny skies at 8:31. The House impeachment inquiry continues today with more witnesses called to testify about possible White House efforts to get Ukraine to investigate President Trump's political rivals. The man who was detained by Mexican authorities in connection with the murders of 9 American women and children no longer considered a suspect by Mexican police. China says it's reached an agreement with the U.S. to begin rolling back tariffs on each other's goods. The rollback, according to China, comes in phases. Senator Rand Paul says he's still backing whistleblowers, even though he blocked a Democrat resolution in the Senate aimed at reaffirming some protections for whistleblowers.
When Edward Snowden exposed the breadth of unconstitutional government spying, not one finger was raised by those voices who are so proud now to defend whistleblowers. So really, I think that the outrage we see here is selective outrage.
The Kentucky lawmaker is suggesting Democrats drop their resolution. A Northern California wildfire that's been burning for 2 weeks finally contained this morning. The Kincaid fire has destroyed about 80,000 acres in Sonoma County, north of San Francisco. 7 are without a home following a fire on Chicago's northwest side. Blaze broke out last night at a home in the 1600 block of North Spalding. No one in custody after a woman was killed in a shooting on Chicago's far south side. The woman was in a vehicle pulled into a parking lot near 133rd and Ellis. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson may formally announce his retirement as soon as today, although Mayor Lightfoot is denying that there will be any imminent announcement. Former L.A. Police Chief Charlie Beck is the leading candidate, according to sources, to be the interim superintendent while the city conducts a search for a full-time, permanent replacement for Eddie Johnson. Chicago sports found the Bulls winners over the Hawks, 113-93 tonight, and the Blackhawks welcome Vancouver tonight. The news service of Indeed.com, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees a major victory for our country and the president.
Biggest foreign policy achievement in the Trump administration, arguably. Big day, right? Huge day for the president of the United States and for this country, most of all. Number 1 terrorist in the world, taken out by our Army Special Forces.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Want your home's furnace to stay safe and reliable? And want to prevent any potential problems before they happen? At your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we recommend an annual furnace inspection and tune-up. Right now, get big savings on a furnace tune-up. Call 855-1-HOUR. Because not taking care of your furnace, that's just cold.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
No matter how long it's been, when you're back together, you still get that good old-fashioned feeling. Even though you've been apart, it's as though you've never left. That's right. Football season is back.
Reignite your spark right here on the Husky Sports Network.
It's the Huskies versus the Toledo Rockets this Wednesday night at 7.
Don't miss a minute of the action right here on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. They fight against oxidants that damage the cell's DNA, causing mutations that lead to disease. In my lab, I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. As a scientist, I know that balance of nature works.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751, or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
8:36 AM 560 traffic center time, and Jim Telemonte.
Lakeshore Drive traffic is very heavy this morning. Southbound from Foster to North Avenue. Northbound delays are from the Stevenson to Jackson and Foster to Hollywood. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, now an hour and 5 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 40 minutes from Montrose, 24 in the Express. Eisenhower, an hour and 12 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle, 49 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 35 minutes from 95th. I-57, 32 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop Ford, 40. Northbound Tri-State delays are in pockets, Harlem to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Seen delays on the northbound Veterans Memorial, Fountain, much of the way to Ogden and North Avenue to 290. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny, 33. Clear, very cold, and a warning from the National Weather Service overnight. Don't go out without protective clothing. Hypothermia may result. Low 17 in the city, colder in the western suburbs. 22 right now at O'Hare. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, it's the big news yesterday. Adam Schiff announcing that public hearings on impeachment would begin next week, Wednesday. Bill Taylor, acting ambassador to Ukraine, former ambassador to Ukraine Ivanovich, and an undersecretary of state, George Kent, are the three scheduled to testify. But nothing really has changed since the House Republican presser last week, Thursday, on the occasion of that partisan vote on the impeachment inquiry. So just to keep you grounded here, Jim Jordan at the time discussing what went down.
I want y'all to think about something. This morning, I was in an impeachment deposition, but then had to leave that to come to the floor for a vote on the rules for impeachment. That's what, that says it all about this entire process, and it is a sad day. It really is for this country. What the Democrats have put our nation through for now almost 4 years.
You do the impeachment and then you work back and set up the rules for it. Yeah, that's not how it works. That's certainly not the spirit of our justice system. It's not the seriousness with which an impeachment should be tackled. And Jordan is right to point out effectively that an illegitimate process, by definition, cannot produce a legitimate result. He also reminded us the four things that we know to be true to frame our assessment of the arguments being offered.
4 fundamental facts. We have the transcript. There is no conditions in the transcript. There's no quid pro quo in the transcript. Even the day after the call came out, Democratic chairmen were saying, well, there's no quid pro quo there, but we're going to keep on doing what they've been putting our country through. Second, the two individuals on the call both have said, President Trump, President Zelensky have both said there was no pressure, no pushing, nothing. Third, the Ukrainians didn't know aid had been held up at the time of the phone call. And fourth, and most important, what action did they take? What action did President Zelensky take or the Ukrainians take to ever free up the aid that was held up? They did nothing. No statement, no announcement of any type of event. Those facts have never changed, will never change, but they don't care.
They really don't. And yesterday, additionally, Ambassador Taylor's transcript, the transcript of his testimony behind closed doors, was released. This exchange with Lee Zeldin, Republican from New York, is particularly instructive. Ambassador Taylor, Bill Taylor, and I'm not suggesting he's being dishonest. In point of fact, if you take him at his word, it undermines what the Democrats have been saying and what they've been leaking. Zeldin, would you like to tell us what your position is on it? What was the goal of requesting investigations into the 2016 election and Burisma? Taylor, as I understand it from maybe the article in the New York Times about Mr. Giuliani's interest in Burisma, in that article he describes, and I think he quotes Giuliani at some length, that article indicates that Giuliani was interested in getting some information on Vice President Biden, and that would be useful to Mr. Giuliani's client. I think that's what he says. He says he's got one client and he's useful to the client. Zeldin. And then it's your inference that Mr. Giuliani's goal would be the president's goal. Taylor, yes. And your source is the New York Times. Taylor, yes. Zeldin. So do you have any other source that the president's goal in making this request was anything other than the New York Times? Taylor, I have not talked to the president. I have no other information from what the president was thinking. So Taylor's testimony is he divined from the New York Times reporting on Giuliani's conduct what President Trump's motivation was on that call with Zelensky. That is like hearsay, or it's the combination of hearsay and personal intuition. That rises to the level of evidence to offer in conclusion of anything other than Bill Taylor was guessing. And yet, again, we have the transcript. So if nobody has anything more than the transcript, why don't we just stick to the four corners of the transcript and Adam Schiff can offer his interpretations and everybody else can offer theirs, and we can go to the factual record that Jim Jordan just described, and we can handle this straight away. So I, for one, am looking forward to Act 2 of this impeachment play next week. For more on the topic, we're pleased to be joined by Chris Buskirk. He's the editor and publisher of American Greatness, amgreatness.com, contributing opinion writer at the New York Times. Oh, boy. Chris Buskirk, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Boy, now I know that if I write something and they publish it in the New York Times, that God knows who's reading it and what they might intuit out of it, and who knows what could happen. I never realized I had so much power.
There's no question. No question. And so what about Bill Taylor, the effort to metamorphosize Gordon Sondland's amended testimony to say he's conceding there was a quid pro quo when that's not at all what he said? What about this?
Well, I mean, this is the equivalent of what we saw with Adam Schiff, 2-3 weeks ago now, where he read into the congressional record a statement that was pure fiction, that had never happened until he was caught on it by people who were listening to it. This is not about, as you well know, this is not about trying to get to the bottom of the facts or finding any type of a crime. This is about just the aesthetic revulsion that Democrats have at the election of Donald Trump and trying to overturn that election through any means necessary. They tried the whole Mueller-Russia hoax thing. That didn't work. It fizzled. And within about 15 minutes, they had seamlessly pivoted over to, oh my gosh, there was something going on in Ukraine. Whereas what we actually know is that the only nefarious activities going on between people in Ukraine and people in the United States were between the people in Ukraine and Democrats, between the Clinton campaign, the Joe Biden son. All these things were actually going on, but they don't want anybody looking into that. But President Trump somehow has a phone call with President Zelensky, and this is enough to warrant an impeachment. inquiry. And I think, and the American people, I think, except for the ones who are deeply committed to Trump hatred, I think they are starting to get the joke. And the joke, I think, winds up being on Democrats, because I just have a hard time thinking that this ends well for Democrats, because the longer we talk about Ukraine, the worse it is for Joe Biden. And the worse it is for Joe Biden, the more likely it becomes that Elizabeth Warren is the nominee. And I just don't think that that's a winning proposition for
do you think
Democrats.
They're protecting this whistleblower so fervently because of the fact that he used to work for Joe Biden?
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, in part also because I think that part of the strategy is, and somehow I was talking with a couple of my colleagues a week or two ago. I said, somehow you think, and you just almost know, there was a meeting someplace that said, I know, let's use the whistleblower laws next. Like that whistleblower, it sounds like this person automatically has the moral high ground, and we're going to get to say whistleblower a million times in the press. And so now they want to protect that aura around, this is somebody that has bravely come forward and has, is speaking truth to power, and we've got to protect this guy. So there's part of it is just part of the overall act. But yeah, to your point, because he's intimately tied not only to Joe Biden, but to Brennan. And this is somebody who is a hardcore Democrat operative who has all kinds of awkward links to people in power in the Democratic Party.
Karl Rove writes about his past experience with Adam Schiff in the Wall Street Journal, and he notes that Schiff recently revealed that before he entered politics, he wanted to be a screenwriter. He even penned scripts for a courtroom drama and an action-filled spy thriller. Well, now it seems that he wants to be the star, and I just wonder what your assessment is of Adam Schiff / Tom Clancy, and that this impeachment proceeding is being driven almost entirely by him. He wants to be vindicated from all the things that he said that weren't true about during the Mueller investigation, and he's damn sure to make it true this time because his reputation's on the line.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really, that's a great question because, you look at these things, a lot of times you don't find out about this until years later, but, thankfully there's actually good reporting on just the personal motivation of somebody, of Schiff in particular. In this whole thing, and this is somebody who has a lot personally at stake. So there's the ego part of it, which you're referring to. I mean, this is somebody who's a failed screenwriter. We know why he was a failed screenwriter now, because he comes up with these stories that are like ridiculous. If this was a movie, you would watch this movie and go like, who wrote this? This is absurd. Nothing makes sense. There's no narrative that has a logical sequence, and it's just like too overblown. And yet, this is what we're being all basically held hostage to right now as a nation. So there's that part of it. But the other element is, and there's been really interesting reporting on this, is that number one, Adam Schiff is raking in a ton of money into his campaign and into his PAC because he's become basically a celebrity to the radical left. And the other part is that he personally is being feted all over town in Hollywood, in California, in New York. He goes places, and the quote unquote the resistance, they treat him like a conquering hero. And look, that feeds his ego. He loves it. This is somebody who would never ever be in the spotlight if he hadn't come up with this story, and he probably is really enjoying it.
And he wants to be United States Senator. He wants to replace Di-Fi in California.
For sure. Right. So there are a bunch of different motivations here, and they all go back to his personal parochial interests.
When the report yesterday, after Schiff made his announcement about the public hearings next week, Nunez suggested the first witness Republicans are going to call Adam Schiff. I like that bit of jujitsu myself. What was your assessment of that?
I think it's fantastic. I think that's really good. Now, here's what they are doing here, I think, is a lot of sort of political theater, because in order to call him and for him to have to appear, he has to agree as the chairman of the committee.
Right.
But so what they're doing is they're setting up him not appearing, right? And then they can put forward, well, here's what would want to know from Congressman Schiff. And here are the questions he won't answer. And that, I think, is going to be a pretty poignant moment.
And then they can get a bucket of KFC chicken from Stephen KFC Cohn, and they can have a leg or a wing and speak to an empty chair. I love it. I love it coming full circle.
No, it's really good. And look, I mean, the Congressman Nunes, I've said this so many times, I'm going to say it again because he deserves it. I mean, this is a guy who truly deserves to be called an American hero because he is, and he gets the game. And he understands what's going on, and thank God, he's basically like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. This is somebody who has a very good sense of right and wrong. This is somebody who understands the hoax that is being perpetrated on the American people. And he's not going to let it happen if he has anything to say about it. And so, good on him. I mean, this is somebody that we all need to thank for what he's been doing.
But do you think it's a level playing field? I mean, the Democrats have already had a dress rehearsal interviewing these subject matters, behind closed doors.
No, it's not even close to a level playing field. I mean, among other things, they are very well financed. We know this. They've been practicing this, and then they have this big media bubble where they get to magnify everything that they say. But it doesn't have to be level because I do think that in this case the truth is an adequate defense, and people are starting, as I said, people got it with Mueller, they got it with the Russia hoax, and trying to do this the second time around, it just seems a little flaccid. Right? People are saying, hold on a second, wasn't it just Russia? And now it's Ukraine, and now I feel like I've seen this before. It was like the second in the Schiff series of really bad novels, and I didn't like the first one that much, and the second one just has an even worse plot.
He is Chris Buskirk. He's the editor and publisher of American Greatness, amgreatness.com, contributing right at the New York Times. And tonight, by the way, remember, tonight he and our friend of the show, contributor to Am Greatness, Julie Kelly, are doing a 2020 election preview at Gibson's in Oak Brook. So Gibson's in Oak Brook this evening to see Chris Buskirk, Julie Kelly, talk to them, get their insights on the 2020 election cycle. Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Hey everyone, Ken here. For 2 years now, you've heard Carrie and I use metaphors to test to see if you think your home or your business could use a revenue shot in the backside. Today, because of our new website, I can be a little bit more direct. Income Store has 2 doors. If you have more time than money, you're going to live under door number 1. You're going to see over 400 digital assets, 5 to 20 minutes apiece, that'll teach you how to manage numbers and lead people, or show you 6 growth tips you've never heard of. All of this so you can start growing your home or your business revenue literally immediately. If you have more money than time, door number 2 is going to be for you. You can view some of our managed services, look for more done-for-you packages. 34% of Americans in 2018 visited one of our managed services. Forbes 3 years in a row quoted, Income Store is an expert at generating home or business revenue. If you'd love to explore how to check out adding revenue to your home or business, just go to incomestore.com. That's incomestore.com.
Admit it, you're not getting enough fruits and veggies in your life, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. With just 6 capsules, you're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. It's the easiest way to be healthy, really, and to get the fruits and veggies that you need on a daily basis. And right now, if you go to balanceofnature.com, use the discount code Chicago, and you'll get 35% off and free shipping on your first preferred order. This offer may end at any time, so do not wait. Call now, 800-246-8751, and take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge. They'll explain what that is, but now's the time to get healthy right before the holidays. 800-246-8751. Or go to balanceofnature.com, discount code Chicago.
My name is David Hochberg. If you'd like to pay off debt, call Team Hochberg now about a cash-out refinance. During September, Team Hochberg helped listeners convert over $1.3 million of their home's equity into cash to pay off credit cards, student loans, car loans, medical bills, collections, and IRS tax liens, which saved them over $12,000 a month. Since January, Team Hochberg has reduced listeners' payments over $137,000 a month for an annualized savings of over $1.6 million a year. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Call Team Hochberg now to do a cash-out refinance to pay off debt and substantially lower your monthly payments. Think of all the things you could do with an extra couple $100, up to $2,000 a month you'd be saving. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
Hey, Pat, I need copies of your engineering blueprints for the new tenants on floor 15.
We have the specs right here. Their business operates in a sensitive environment. We're going to have HVAC issues.
This is definitely a challenge. We'd better get Hayward HVAC involved now.
HVAC needs will vary by business, and some can be extremely challenging. Hayward HVAC Company will eliminate your headaches and bring over 100 years of expert results to your building. They don't just deal with ventilation, they fabricate in-house. Hayward designs solutions. They solve problems. When Hayward HVAC Company is on the job, you can trust it'll be done right. How else do you last for over 100 years? Call Hayward HVAC Company at 847-671-0400 or visit haywardhvac.com. That's 847-671-0400. Hayward HVAC, a tradition of trust since 1915.
This is attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on AM 560 every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Let me tell you about Bill. Bill's business slowed down and he fell behind on his taxes. Instead of filing his tax return, he decided to wait until he could pay. Well, 1 year turned to 2, turned to 3. Then the IRS threatened to contact his customers, take his house, his bank account, and his passport. Well, Bill hired me. We filed all of his tax returns and an appeal to slow the IRS down. Then we worked out an installment agreement based on how much he could pay, not on how much he owed. Now Bill can rely on the IRS protection plan. We will file his future tax returns and keep the IRS off his back so Bill can focus on growing his business. If you have questions about the IRS, you can get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today, to learn the secrets of solving your IRS problem and save your business, your marriage, and your reputation. Call 312-664-6649. or go to freeirsbook.com.
Tom Killeran Photography is ready to memorialize your next event with photos that come to life and preserve the memories for generations. They can accommodate your large group photos to individual portraits, wallet size to panoramic. They can even print your photos on location as a take-home keepsake for your party guests. Visit KilleranPhotography.com. AM 560 The Answer hired Tom Killeran Photography for our annual charity golf outing, and the finished product was amazing. Book Tom Killeran Photography for your upcoming corporate event, family reunion, wedding, bar mitzvah, or any event you want to capture forever. And those old family videos you have on VHS tape, it's time to preserve them forever. Tom Killeran Photography can transfer your beloved memories to DVD and can restore your older faded photos or enlarge them. Visit KilleranPhotography.com. KilleranPhotography.com. KILLORAN Photography.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, so Superintendent Eddie Johnson having a 10:45 a.m. press conference with Mayor Lightfoot announcing that he's retiring.
So long.
And yesterday, Kevin McCarthy, remember him? He made
I remember Gary McCarthy.
I'm sorry, Gary McCarthy, name assassinator, was making the rounds at state TV stations, kind of like campaigning to get his job back.
Performance versus politics. And you get the best people, you put them in the seats, you let them drive the bus.
Okay.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of embarrassing to campaign for your old job back? Okay. Well,
I mean, I don't.
Good luck.
I don't think he's going to get it, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about who the Chicago police chief should be. I think it should be like someone comical, like
who?
Like Commandant Lassard from the Police Academy movies. Because at least I want good entertainment if I'm not going to get safe streets.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're having the former the top cop from Los Angeles Police Department is going to be here as the interim guy. So, all right, have a great day. We'll be back here bright and early at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks to Justin Kosick, who's our technical producer.
What the heck is wrong with you?
And Quentin McCarthy, who is?
He's on the short list for police chief.
Yes. See you tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
An update on the situation developing at 35th and Shields and 35th and State this morning as Chicago's top cop is expected to announce his retirement today. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
The impeachment hoax should end immediately. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump tweeted that because he wrote of the whistleblower's lawyer.